It's that time again, gearheads. Welcome to the fastest growing show on the internet, loved by Swifties and Craigophiles alike. Today, Blind Mike discusses that thing that Stuttering John proposed, asked others to do the work, and then canceled. Yeah, Mike, you can keep this intro as an evergreen. It will happen again. Make sure you go to blindmike.net for all things Blind Mike, including Who Are These Socials? And Why Are You Laughing? And now your host, a man with the single greatest after show on the planet, with guest Carl Hamburger from Who Are These Podcasts, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Hackride YouTube channel. Blind Mike Geary!
Jesus Christ. I gotta say, it was real smooth how they slipped in the plug for the after. Almost like it didn't even happen. I barely noticed it.
I didn't notice a thing.
No, it wasn't wedged in there. They took way more time promoting the after show. They list 3 podcasts that I do. That took 4 seconds. They list the guest that's on with them tonight, the time, the YouTube channel. Welcome, everybody, to the only show where it's more important to promote the after show. Hey, guys, remember when they talked about Coach HP earlier?
I remember
That'll
that.
be fun.
Did they actually land Carl? Is Carl actually?
Yeah, it's very annoying. I asked Carl to be on 2 weeks ago, and he said no.
That's very funny.
Yeah. So, Hackride, guys, go subscribe to Hackride. He's very, very subtly, I'd say maybe, take your foot off the gas a little bit in promoting the after show. Maybe people should watch this show first and then see if they want to hear more about it later,
Be the one after show that doesn't touch on the actual one.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that might be what it is. So their first guest is Carl from WATP, my co-host from Who Are These Socials.
Mm-hmm. I
was listening to Carl. They discussed Joe Matarese. So obviously they had Eric Zane on instead of me. They discussed Joe Matarese, and a few months ago we played on WATS. We played clips of Matarese's stand-up because I was like, "Hey, tell me if you think." Like, I couldn't tell 100%, but I was like, "It sounds like these are like fake laugh, like he's doing like laugh track stuff."
Oh, interesting.
And so we played that a few months ago, and we laughed about it. And then it was funny because today I was listening to Carl talk about Matarese, and he plays a clip of his stand-up, and he with no irony goes, "I think those laughs might be sweetened." Yeah, I just love the idea of Carl, just to stick it to me every week, chose a topic from Who Are These Socials and approached it as if he's never discussed it in his life.
Do you think Hackride's going to replace you on that show?
Probably, yeah. They're best buds now.
That'd be dirty. I
just like next week he's like, this Chili DeCastro guy, he's very anti-cop, it seems.
Yes.
The heck, this Dat Fan, I don't think he's particularly good. Last Comic Standing. How did he get on that?
I was going to say, if they dive headfirst into Coach HP and Dat Fan, we're going to have to go to war, I think.
These laughs might be sweetened. Yeah, so go listen to them. I'm sure it'll be an after show where they just berate the people on the show for an hour, I imagine. And then Electra tells us how we weren't nice enough to them on the.
She's in here promoting the Blind Mike project right now. It's like a little too late. They're already here.
No, it's on. She's promoting it now.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hey, thank you, Electra. Hey guys in the chat, check out the Blind Mike project if you wouldn't mind.
She said, "Good morning. You're watching the Blind Mike project."
That's very funny. She's funny.
She's very funny.
Yeah, guys, subscribe. Go check out Hackride. He's doing a after show at 9 tonight. Which, if I could ask one thing, I like Hackride. I don't like to set him off. When I voice these critiques, he gets very angry and yells at me. But did you notice, like, I saw a message this morning, or maybe late last night, where he's like, "I'll be by at the end of the show today to promote the after show."
Nice.
Oh, will you? Good, I'll jot that down on my agenda. I'm glad you told me. Thank you for alerting me.
See, here's the problem now, though, is I gave him access to my StreamYard, so he can do whatever he wants right now.
That's the thing, is he's like, no link needed. I'll just be there. Oh, good.
I don't know. I wonder if he could still get in.
I would say, just how about, just to humor me, to make me, so I can pretend I'm running the operation here. Maybe go, hey, Mike, would you mind if I came on the show?
Yeah. Maybe we'll
just to tickle my ego, I guess.
We'll just have DJ Electra promote it while it's right after it starts in the show chat.
I like that.
Yeah. I think that would be more effective.
Guys, this might be boring, but Hackride's coming on at the end, so you're going to want to stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial, as they used to say.
So, go subscribe to Hackride. Check that out. But also, if you wouldn't mind, that's most important.
You fell into his trap.
But also, if you once you're done with that, once that is out of the way, if you'd also be willing to subscribe to this channel and check out all the shows that I do, including the Blind Mike Project. Why Are You Laughing? And who are these socials? All the links are blindmike.net. We do this show every Sunday at 10 a.m. If you listen later, you can watch us live, super chat us, all that fun stuff. And Why Are You Laughing? Who are these socials? I do every Thursday. Carl has no idea that we do it, but I remember the good times.
The body double of Carl is in there.
This no matter race guy. It seems like he's Italian.
Do you believe he focuses on that?
He's not very good at podcasting. Yeah, to be fair, later in the program, I'm going to point out that Stuttering John's a real jerk. So I guess I'm guilty of it too. But.
That's a great point.
But yeah, blindmike.net. We appreciate you guys checking out all of our free links wherever you get podcasts. And if you want to subscribe, get early access and bonus content, then become a Patreon or YouTube member. We appreciate those as well. Blindmike.net is where it's at. So before the show, I was perusing the internet. Do you know anything about this Stephen Colbert thing? It's from the other night, right? It's from like Thursday or Friday night.
The first I've seen of it was when you sent it.
It was trending for some reason. So I went and watched the full context. He's just doing a regular monologue. I thought this might have been a TED Talk or something. But this was trending, and the main reason I found it interesting is because like the people tweeting it out, it was all this clip. It was all cut up like this. No like monologue jokes or anything were included. And it was presented like that, like how great is that? Finally, Stephen Colbert saying what we're all thinking. So I was like, oh boy, is Stephen Colbert funny again? But what I found is I realized I want this. We did a Why You Laughing that comes out this week about Shane Gillis hosting Saturday Night Live. Or the Why You Laughing was about him getting fired, but we discussed how we would approach his hosting. I realized what I want him to do, and that is this. So let's hear from Stephen Colbert.
I know how numb we've become, but it's not normal. No other candidate for the presidency has ever had to pause his campaign to defend himself in multiple courts. And I would like to point out that in all 7 of his cases, no one doubts that he did these things. We're just sitting around patiently waiting to find out if the wheels of justice will grind fast enough for there to be any consequences. And the media is covering it like it's any other political story, like it's all horse race.
Because it's don't get me started, Stephen. Don't get me started on this, Stephen.
It's all horse race? What does that mean? I don't know if I've heard that phrase before.
He's flipping out about this left-wing manufactured bullshit, trying to go after Trump, get him off ballots. And he's like, I can't believe no one's covering this and they're letting him do it. It's because it's all fake. Shut up.
Okay. My point is more. I like very serious Stephen. He sounds very emotional, like he's about to cry.
This guy used to impersonate Bill O'Reilly every
Remember when he was funny?
Yeah.
That's crazy. This might be one of the sharpest declines because like we've talked about Howard and Kimmel, and I sometimes say that Kimmel his change is probably more egregious than Howard Stern's.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at like just one guy to another, Stephen Colbert had one good show for 10 years or whatever it was on Comedy Central for.
Yep.
And then just the next project he did is so bad.
Terrible.
It's wild. I don't know if I've seen anything that can compare to that, where he was hilarious on the Colbert Report.
Mm-hmm.
And literally like doesn't tell a joke. So I watched to get the full context, I watched the monologue that this was a part of. And I'm not joking. This is 2024. It's dated the other day. Maybe it was a best of or something that I'm not aware of. But it was posted the other day. And I shit you not, there's a joke later where he says something about Trump took 2 minutes to do something. And he goes, that's twice as long as he lasted with Stormy Daniels.
Oh,
That's fresh, huh?
wow.
And he grabbed her by the pussy. Hello, folks.
Remember that?
But all I can think of as I was watching this is how great would it be? Because I think the true fans of his would know it was a joke. But if Gillis just came out on SNL and did that, like just no jokes, just like, hey guys, we need to cut the crap and put this redheaded pig behind bars.
I would love it if
And was just really passionately pleading with America.
I want Shane to be like as left wing as possible for 90 minutes on Saturday. That'd be very funny.
Yes, that would be a way to go, because there's part like everyone wants him to do the Norm Macdonald monologue basically, but that like Norm already did that. It's been done. It would be funnier to just completely cuck it up for an hour.
I mean, I wonder what would happen if the Colbert Report was still a thing. Like, would he have?
Interesting. Like, would Trump have broken him?
Yeah, because he did. Like,
that's an interesting question.
I've talked about this before. It was like one of the funniest things. It was the night that Obama won re-election, I believe.
Yeah.
In the Colbert Report opens up. I used to watch both. I used to watch Daily Show and that back to back. I thought they were both very funny.
Wow.
It opens up and he's in his bathrobe eating popcorn, and the cold open is just him going, "Hey America, fuck you." And then it goes into the music. It was very funny. Now he would never do that.
That's interesting. Would Trump have broken him, or is it because he's on this, I guess, bigger platform, even though more people were probably watching the Colbert Report than watch the Late Show now?
Oh, definitely, which is weird to think about.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, certainly, like, Letterman was bigger than Colbert, obviously.
Yeah.
But now, I would bet more people watched the Colbert Report than are watching. It might be close. I don't know. I'd be curious to, if anyone finds those numbers, let me know. But yeah, it's amazing the drop off where he's just this like super political guy, and like he was an improv guy. So what's interesting to me about it is I guess he's interested in politics. But he's not a comic. He wasn't like a young George Carlin that had these views and wanted to get him out.
Right.
He was an improv guy. You yell a town and a funny job to him, and he comes up with a wacky bit around it.
Yeah.
So that's the weird part to me, is that he's like this commentator who has these powerful statements that he puts out like that. And to be fair, there were jokes in the monologue. They weren't particularly good, but I do like. And maybe you could clip things from, Carson's monologue where it sounded like he was really serious, but he's just completely lost touch with anything remotely comedy centric.
For sure. We got some super chats here if you want to get to them.
Oh my goodness! Already, thank you.
Already pouring in here. Ben R, $10. I was going to spend this money on the Craigophile posters for my neighborhood, but Mike can have it instead.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. We'll do the legwork. We'll do the dirty work.
Box Eating Dead, $2. Kirk is being a baby and cooked. Craig Acone. I didn't say that. Dang Lizard, €5. Carl just thought it was easy, like stealing a parking spot from a blind man, or like Craig says, the innocence of a baby. I didn't say that either.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's exactly what I was thinking about it.
Murchison's Mouse, $5. I tune in for Mike and Craig, but stick around for Hackride. Hackriders unite.
That's big of you to throw us in there. Most people just come and are like, when are we going to get to the Hackride stuff?
In Cardiff Electric, $2.79. I guess I'm just last week's potatoes.
Yeah, he could have had Hackride on. But he wanted to go with the big star.
He
Carl
doesn't.
Hamburger.
That is all for now.
That would have been fun if he had Cardiff on. You get a perspective of what it's like to be in the hot seat with me.
Yeah.
You
pull pranks like disappearing act on a blind guy. He's still talking.
Yeah, we could look behind the potato.
Yeah.
Let's peel it. Enough nonsense. Let's get into some stuff here. I wanted to talk about I don't show you guys enough stuff that I like on pop. We're always tearing people down, but this was just something I thought was very funny. That Luis J. Gomez and Tim Dillon were at a very fancy man's Super Bowl party, and they felt the need to call something into question, which I found to be very funny. So let's hear them on the Real Ass Podcast. It's Louis, Tim, and Zach Amico.
But with this person is much more successful than either one of us to whose house we went to.
We're not going to say who it is.
We're not going to say who it is. But
I thought we were going to just say it.
No, we're not going to say it.
Oh, okay.
Or should we say it?
I don't think it matters. I don't think we're. How mean are you going to be?
I'm not going to be mean.
Sal Vulcano.
Okay. All right, from the Impractical Joker. Now we love Sal, and we love Sal.
I think it's
I
fine.
love Sal.
Sal's the fucking man. I'm not going to say anything that I literally wouldn't say to Sal's face.
Here's the reality: the spread was not it.
It's ridiculous.
It was bad.
He's too rich.
It was
to
too,
order pizza.
when I have people at my house, I've done it several times. I have it in the summer and stuff.
Yeah.
I really put some work and effort into it. This is a guy who we love, but he has a podcast about food. Last night I watched them take out Trader Joe's fried olives and heat them up in a microwave. These people have tens of millions of dollars. It's disgusting and absurd. It's actually disrespectful and it's immoral.
There's more that we'll get to, but the one thing that stuck out to me was that he mentioned Trader Joe's, and to me, that's like the height of luxury.
I mean,
I'm like, Trader Joe's, we're eating good, baby. We've struck gold.
Trader Joe's dark chocolate peanut butter cups. I suggest everyone go spend a small fortune on those. They're very delicious.
Oh yes, the peanut butter cups are better than Reese's.
That's what I always say. They're so good.
I agree with you actually. Yeah, so they're at Sal Vulcano's house, and he does this podcast with Joe DeRosa where they talk very, they're food aficionados of sorts, and this is what Sal puts out as a spread at the Super Bowl, and they get more into it.
I don't know why they're so mad. I'm all for it.
It's very funny. You'll hear Tim get angrier as this goes on. It's very funny.
Thing, there were underprivileged people at that party last night. Like Adrian Iapolucci was excited to be in a house. She was excited to be in a house, and she thought she was going to get a little ziti, a couple of sausage and peppers, and meatball. It didn't happen.
Yeah, no,
and it would have been nice.
Well, that's what I told because I brought my son, I brought my girlfriend. I was like, look, these people. I was like, guys, be
even
your best
James
behavior.
was probably like, hey, this isn't great. He's a young guy.
Pedestrian spit on the
He's
floor.
a young guy.
And this is the truth. Yeah. Did you get the text message about how to get in?
Yeah.
In the text message, it said, "Come hungry."
No, it's actually, as much as we're kidding around, it was what was done was wrong. Actually, what was done was wrong. What was done was actually wrong. They have a podcast about food called Taste Buds.
It said, "Come hungry." I looked at
come hungry, leave angry.
Dude, I looked at Jenna and James. I was like, guys, let's not eat. I was like, they're Italian. My assumption, I was like, I assumed it was going to be fucking like cheese towers.
When you walk into a place like that, you're thinking they're going to have a Russo's on the Bay, which is a catering hall in Brooklyn, cocktail hour for a wedding. I'm talking baby lamb chops, antipas platters, stuffed mushrooms. Things are overflowing. Chafing dishes of food. They had 4 bowls of potato chips and fried olives. It was heinous.
It looked like the gas station on
It looks like the Gas Digital monthly meeting. It was really, really crazy. It was great. And then they brought out chili, which was heinous.
It was cold.
Heinous. It was freezing. The cheese would not melt in the chili. It was cold chili. And it's almost like, are they saying we're rich? Fuck you. It's almost like, are they saying fuck you?
Felt like a slap in the face.
It was a slap in the face.
Now, could it have been an impractical joke?
That's what I said. I said maybe they were like Murr was in a closet with a headpiece on, being like, serve them cold chili.
Bring out the
All right, tell him to come hungry. I just love the idea of the Gomez family starving themselves throughout the day.
Oh, you know what? That could have been a punishment or something.
Kids, we're eating good tonight. He's got his girlfriend and his kid, and they're like, let's save some room in our bellies because the volcanoes are gonna treat us to a real feast. And they come in and there's potato chips.
Dad, I didn't touch the ribeye in the fridge because they said to come hungry.
Come hungry is the best part of that. That's what makes it feel almost like a prank. but Tim gets even angrier about this, and I just thought it was good. I like to spread a little positivity once in a while. We focus on terrible podcasts too often, but this was funny.
But,
Here's how bad it was. There was a girl in Gaza recently
Oh God.
who was and this is wrong. I don't know if the Israelis did this or not. People are saying they did on Instagram. She was in a hospital. They knew because she was calling, going, "My family's dying. You're all dead." She was in an ambulance going to like the one remaining hospital they have, and potentially the Israelis actually targeted the ambulance and killed her, blew her up in the ambulance.
wow.
Here's how bad it was. If the ambulance instead drove to Staten Island and that girl got out of the car and walked upstairs to this and looked at the spread, she would say, "Am I still in Gaza?" Because this is what we were eating in Gaza. Bowls of potato chips. Is this still Gaza? Or have I? She would not even know she was in America.
I shit you not. Chips and dip.
These people have more money than God.
They're outraged. I think here's what it might be though. Is it's two guys that don't give a fuck about the game talking about the Super Bowl party.
Right.
So they're like they don't give a fuck about what's going on the television. They're like, well, so where's the food? We were told to come hungry, and they get chips and dip. But the come hungry text is very funny to me.
Yeah. If I went to this party and there wasn't chips and dip or pizza, I would have this reaction. Like, what the fuck is this?
Right, like I would think that if there was like racks of lamb and shit like that, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of disappointing because I'm trash. I'm not like Tim Dillon.
I would be like, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Oh, good. DJ Electra in the chat. Go to blindmike.net for all things Blind Mike.
Thank you, Electra. That's very kind. Everyone, guys, listen to DJ Electra and go to blindmike.net. Subscribe. We appreciate
it. That's very funny. I wish I was there.
I know. It's a real shame. But yeah.
Like, can you believe he's got Trader Joe's?
I'd be like, by any chance you get the mac and cheese balls from Trader Joe's also? Those are pretty good.
Pish posh, as they say.
Yeah, but that's what Tim is really great at. Like I've said before, I mean, he's bigger than this now, so I guess it's almost a slight to him, but like he would have been a great radio guy if he wanted to be that, like a Rush Limbaugh or Alex Jones or something. Like he has that muscle. He very easily could have done that. Just talked for 4 hours on the radio or whatever.
Yeah, he jokes about everyone, which is always what I look for.
Sure.
Because as much as I like Cumia or DePaulo, as we've talked, it's like at some point I'm just like, all right.
I was trying to think of this. How close is Tim Dillon to hosting SNL? Would they ever do that because of the political stuff? I mean, because Shane is like technically a more controversial figure, I guess.
Yeah, but Shane's also the biggest comic in the country right now,
and he is, despite what people want you to think, he's more palatable for both sides, probably.
Yeah, because he will make fun of everyone, but so will Tim Dillon. But
Tim's harsher, I think.
Yeah, and if you look at just the Patreon, it's not even close. Like Shane is way above Tim Dillon.
Is that right?
Yeah, they make.
Wow.
They have the biggest Patreon by. Like,
I knew they were the biggest. I didn't know by how much.
The last I checked, it was like double the next.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
good for
I
them.
think they had like 70,000 patrons.
Damn,
we're on our way.
Hey, get us there, folks. 1/1000th of the way there.
Next time the Be a Man guy brings it up to Shane, we can be like, yeah, we're in the same league.
The other one I'm surprised hasn't hosted yet is Kreischer.
That would make sense.
I actually would have thought that before Shane.
Yeah,
not saying he's a better comic, obviously. I'm just saying like he does. He's he's got a fun vibe. He's not controversial at all. He's selling out baseball stadiums.
He's gonna go do his monologue without a shirt on and be like kind of in shape now. So everyone's gonna be like, "Why is he doing this?"
He wants to be. I think he wants to be in that world more than someone like Shane does.
Yes, he'll play along more. He'll do whatever they say.
Yeah, so that's another one. I'm surprised, but it's weird. Like all these guys that like we followed, years ago when they were feature. A lot of them were like features. Like I saw Shane open for Soder.
Right.
So like these were not big acts, and now they're the biggest in the country. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's like if you told Kevin Clancy he should have started kind of a network with these guys and produced their specials like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago.
That would have been lucrative.
Yeah, it would be like he wouldn't have to argue to get a permission to do things at Barstool, New York anymore.
I think they did a Francis Ellis special that you cannot find anywhere. I think they did that.
Yeah. Well, that's good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, now for the we got I was gonna say now for the main course, but we got to get to Callen real quick as well. All right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be in Austin very soon, and I can get into the comedy mothership. It sounds like
Really?
these two men cannot.
Oh no.
Or if they do, they'd have to do it the same way that I did and buy a ticket.
Oh,
Because-
that's
what's
good.
that?
I actually can't wait to hear about how that was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, but I'll get a very similar experience to Callen and Schaub because we're just three fans of Joe Rogan, I guess. So our buddy Lieutenant Kirk messaged me the other day. It was a screenshot of ticket sales. Like, you know, when you go on the app to buy tickets for an event and it says, hey, these seats are still available.
Mm-hmm.
It was essentially all of them still available to the fighter and the kid at the, what is it called? The Vulcan Gas Company or something like that, across the street from the mothership, which is very symbolic that they were, they're, you know, tapping on the glass of the mothership and can't get in. But this is Bryan Callen. I don't know what happened with these guys because it's Joe Rogan's fault that we know these men.
Well, I don't get what happened with Schaub because, to my knowledge, nothing controversial that I can recall happened. Like Callen, I get maybe.
Well, Callen's been on the show, so he's Joe Rogan's still friends with Bryan Callen, and Callen's been to the mothership, which Schaub is not. That's very interesting to me. But let's play this clip. Let's hear Bryan Callen trying to drum up ticket sales by invoking the name of one Joe Rogan.
How excited are you for Austin, buddy? First live show together in a
I'm
hot
pumped, dude.
second.
I'm pumped.
Can I say, by the way, we were all very sad when we watched Brendan Schaub's video.
I was gonna say it didn't last long.
Well, the guy can't. Craig, his child is sick. He can't tour anymore for stand-up. I think that's a very noble thing to do as a father. Now, it's also way different to travel for your podcast. You're basically home. When you're traveling for a podcast, you're essentially still home.
Yeah,
it's not like you're in another state all of a sudden.
Maybe that's the problem. Rogan was like, dude, you turn your back on stand-up, you can't come to my club.
Maybe, yeah. He had to. So Brendan Schaub had to cancel all of his stand-up dates. It's weird. Why didn't he have to cancel the podcast dates?
I don't know. It's a great
That's very
question.
strange to me.
It's a very good question.
Maybe it all just lined up to where if a guy was thinking maybe this stand-up comedy career isn't going too well, I'm gonna back the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna do the thing that actually gets numbies.
Well, does it though? Because listen to this.
How excited are you for Austin, buddy? First live show together in a
I'm
hot
pumped,
second.
dude. I'm pumped. I talked to Rogan. I was saying, yep. I talked to Rogan yesterday. We told him we're coming. And
did he give you his approval? Because you can't go to Austin without him granting
Well, we were
you-
just talking about. That's also part of just being honest.
What'd they cut out?
Truth is fucking hard.
Was it a cut?
Huh?
Was it a cut?
Yeah.
Oh, go back. Let me see if I can spot it.
Can't go to Austin without him granting
Well, we were
you-
just talking about. That's also part of just being honest. Being telling the truth.
Oh, wow, that was egregious.
Now, is this kind of like when Segura was pretending to be pissed at Theo Vaughn?
I don't think so.
No, they're not that fun.
I don't think they would have had the foresight to do that, and they didn't make a big deal of it or anything. I think perhaps some jealousy came out that they didn't want to be exposed.
Maybe.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes,
him
indeed.
granting
Well, we were
you-
just talking about.
Yourself.
That's also part of just being telling
We were just talking about what could they have just been talking about?
That wasn't even a smooth cut. We were just talking about.
We were just talking about the fact that we can't get into the mothership even if we beg. We were just talking about the fact that this guy gave us a platform and now he doesn't acknowledge we exist.
truth is.
Yeah, so Corbin in the chat says you'd have to be blind to miss that hard cut.
I heard it the second time. I apologize.
All right, let's go.
talking about. That's also part of just being honest, telling the truth. It's fucking hard.
I'm sorry. So what do you say about Fern Kid Live or?
I said to him, I just said, hey, this is all I'm going to say. I said, hey, you're in the area.
Oh, you invited him?
I go, I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I'm just saying we're in the area. You could stroll down.
He's like, I don't know, man. I might be busy counting
Whatever
money.
he said. The point
I
is,
gotta count my money Thursday night.
he's at the mothership. It's a stroll. How
I
long?
think he's Scrooge McDuck.
He kind of is now.
I have to count my money. Spotify, it's not all here.
Where is it?
Mothership. It's a stroll. How long of a walk is it?
You could throw a hush puppy across the street.
It's something you can throw a hush puppy and hit it. I'm saying you're two old buddies, good old Brendan Schaub and Bryan Callen, on stage cutting it up. Maybe
This is rough to
sing
watch.
this all
tricks up
over.
our sleeve.
Don't think I'm not going
the
to
old
call him.
sleeve.
Don't think I'm not going to call him from the stage. We'll say, yeah.
Get some tricks up our sleeve.
Have some dignity, Brian.
The old Austin.
We'll see what happens. We're either way. It's going to be exciting. We're going to be in Austin.
Don't think I won't go to his house. Don't think I won't look in the window at his family and kind of make the throat cut sign.
I kind of appreciate him calling him out for being a shit friend.
I don't think Rogan is a shit friend. Look at how much he's done for these guys.
That's very, very good point.
They have an audience because of Joe.
That's
This is what I'm talking about with people. It's like you can ask for things, but the person doesn't owe you a life forever.
That's true.
It's like once they decide to stop giving back, that's their call. It's fine. They've done enough for you. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough look. I'm surprised they didn't cut that part out.
So, well, what makes it funnier is there have been reports. Now, it is the fighter and this kid subreddit. I would say they have some sort of bias. I don't know if you would agree with that or not.
Okay.
I think they do root for things to be bad. However, there have been reports from people that were there. They said the venue holds 350 seats. So for comparison, it's about the size of Laugh Boston for those of you in this area. And they said if we're being generous, probably 100 people showed up. So
For Schaub?
for the fighter and the kid.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what's rough is if Schaub's canceling his stand-up dates and saying, hey, the podcast is my bread and butter, it seems like, I don't know how well that's doing now.
That's not good.
That's what I said. I don't think you were on the show when we talked about this, but like Schaub's career is going in reverse order. Where
I know
he started huge, and now he's doing like open mics.
Oh, man, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
Seems like a swell guy.
That's and you feel for him a little where they're like they sound desperate there where they're like, well, listen, even if Rogan's not there, we might call him on stage, guys. Isn't that worth the price of admission?
We're gonna call him out. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't get where Rogan is being a bad friend because like Brendan doesn't belong. If there's a bar, if there's a barrier of entry to getting into the comedy mothership, I would assume Brendan doesn't pass muster. You know?
You'd be surprised, dude.
It is weird that they're not the fighter and the kid isn't playing at the mothership.
That would make sense.
That's odd to me that they're across the street.
Because
Joe,
Joe. I mean, until
we're here, Joe.
Schaub's stand-up career went like terrible, that podcast was looked at positively for the most part. I want to say.
I think it was at a time, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was getting like a shit ton of views for a while.
Yeah. I think what happened with them, though, is like so many people have done what they were doing better, just having a comedian on and bullshitting.
Yeah. Well, even Jim Norton and Matt Serra.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the fighter and the kid, they don't just stick to UFC talk. They talk about anything.
That's true.
So yeah, the hook that they had of like a UFC fighter and a comic, that was lost because like Bisping and Gomez did that, and Norton and Matt Serra. I'm sure there have been others. But even just the idea of like them having a decent named comic on and bullshitting with them. Theo Vaughn does that, Andrew Santino, Stavros, like that's what 90% of comedy podcasts are, you know.
Maybe
so like they lost that edge also.
Maybe when Theo Vaughn left, Rogan called and he was like, "Why'd you leave?" And then he told him why, and he was like, "Oh boy."
Well, this is where Theo Vaughn's actually a genius.
Mhm.
Not that it takes a genius to come to this conclusion, but like Theo Vaughn comes off as like this just country bumpkin,
Yep.
but he was aware, hitching his wagon to Brendan Schaub was a bad look for him. And I think you kind of see that with these podcasts now, and I feel bad for Brendan because this is a pro Brendan Schaub podcast.
Yep.
But you look at like what's happened to the guys around him, like the Golden Hour, the Fighter, and the Kid. No one respects these things anymore. They're looked at as jokes, and I think that's in large part because of Brendan.
I think a lot of it is maybe D'Elia association.
No, I'll tell you why I don't think that's true. I didn't have an opinion on D'Elia before Schaub. Like,
No, I know what I'm saying now that he's still like sticking with him. You're like, dude, I gave you the opportunity. Just stop.
Maybe, but it's like the attention on Brendan Schaub. I'm not even blaming Brendan. The attention on Brendan Schaub shined a light on how bad Chris D'Elia was.
Yeah.
So maybe like D'Elia could have continued tricking his audience even after the controversy if it wasn't for Brendan Schaub. I feel bad saying this because this is a thick boy production, but Brendan Schaub may have ruined the lives of everyone around him.
Schaub mob, baby.
We are. Yeah, we're in fact in the Schaub mob. So I say that with a heavy heart. But
Cardiff Electric 279. Do blind people get better parking like wheelchairs?
yeah, I have not taken advantage of that, but I believe I am. I could get a handicap sticker if I wanted one. I just feel weird. I know he's not seriously asking, but I'm going to give him a serious answer.
Yeah.
I always feel weird because like I can walk.
Right.
Like it's just getting out of your car. Hello, folks. Just strolling into the grocery store.
What's up with this guy? Why'd he park there as you have your stick?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So hats off. Good luck to Callen and Schaub. Hopefully their ticket sales pick up. Hopefully Brendan keeps touring, but not for stand up because that would be bad for his family.
There's a chance that Joe Rogan like eggs the Vulcan next time they're there.
That'd be fun. Maybe I'll do that while I'm down there.
That would be fun. Hugh SA, $5. If Schaub helped expose D'Elia, does that make him a hero? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, that's what? Great spin. I'm not doing my job. Thank you for doing what I should be doing. Absolutely. Yes, Brendan Schaub is a hero for exposing how bad Chris D'Elia was. That's a great point. Thank you, beloved chatter.
Thank you, Hugh.
Yes, Hugh.
What do you feel like going next here, Mike?
Well, since I mentioned beloved chatters, I think we should go to the man himself, one Stuttering John Melendez.
Oh, yeah.
Now, sure, you might point out that we've been talking a lot of Stuttering John lately after I said we'd never talk about him again, but no one points to the episode we did where I said we only talk about Stuttering John,
They forget that one.
I say a lot of bullshit that I don't mean. That I back out of because I realize it's a bad idea. But I'm captivated by the guy. You know what Stuttering John is, I realized, is like he's nicotine or he's sugary foods. He's a guy, I'm gonna say that a lot. Like, hey, I'm done with this guy. I can't do it. But like you see what he's doing. And it's hard not to keep going back. I want to comment on this so badly because he's such an asshole. His life is such a disaster. Like he's truly a pathetic individual, and it's fascinating to watch his demise and him dig his heels in and constantly like argue with people about things that are so clear. So the Atlantic City fiasco happened last week. We covered that. And then John has been spending this week undoing all of the goodwill that he built up over that week. So where are we starting with old SJ?
Well, he's a class act. You can't forget that.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely is. He's a real sweetheart.
I beat off to Keanu
Hold on.
yesterday morning.
Hold on. Outro worthy, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so.
Which, by the way, we need The Rock saying, I want to, You know what I love about the guys? That's still
Oh
not
yeah,
in
that's right. That's right. I forgot about
there. Yeah,
that.
we gotta throw that in there. That's one of my favorites ever. Well, let's hear the new addition to the outro.
I beat off to Keanu.
He's not joking. Just so everyone's clear.
Oh no! Well, Craig, you're acting like this is the first time he's said this. He's addressing the backlash after the original time, where this is what a fucking pig this guy is. So Keanu, for those of you that don't know, she's a comic. She's married to Gina Bisconti, and I guess she performed at Atlantic City. It was her, Zumak, and Gino or something.
Mm-hmm.
A very attractive young girl, and Stuttering John, he's talking about it like the day after. He's like, Keanu, and this is, by the way, a man's wife that he's talking about.
Yeah, well, he doesn't.
A fellow comedian.
Yeah.
And he's like,
fellow.
well, you know, Keanu was wearing these tight leather pants. Oh, they were so fucking hot. Made her ass look great. She had these heels on. He's just piggishly, oafishly describing this woman in graphic detail. And so he says, yeah, I beat off to her the next day. Now this has come up on Keanu's show, so John has to address the elephant in the room. Everyone's talking about the fact that John was jerking off to this woman, so he had to address it.
I know we don't have the Army Major on to talk about Stuttering John, but I just want to watch him listen to this.
Yeah, we got to do that at some point.
I know he won't, but
can we see
Hackride?
Can we see if this will be a good topic for the after show. Get Carl's thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get the Army Major say, hey, like, we're going to go into it unbiased, however we have to phrase it, because I'll hold up my end of the bargain.
You want him to defend Stuttering John?
Yes. Yeah. Can he defend Stuttering John, basically? I don't know the best way to phrase that to him to make him understand we're not going to get him in trouble with John or anything. But, like, to try and make Richard understand, because Richard's always like, I don't know why you have all these haters in here. Maybe we could show Richard or have him defend Stuttering John. I don't know. Man, bounce the ball around on the after show. How's that?
He's the only guy that truly is John's friend, and John doesn't realize it.
And John's just an asshole to him constantly.
So we get like our team to get clips together of John to play for him and have him defend. Have Carl, Shuli maybe throw in some stuff.
Yeah. Would Richard be willing to do that? I think that's an interesting experiment. All right, now back to John's masturbation habits.
I beat off to Keanu yesterday morning.
He's addressing it like the towers went down on a Tuesday morning in September.
Yesterday morning, I beat off the Keanu. It was a real clear day. It was real nice.
Yeah, yesterday morning, tragedy struck. He's addressing this like the president has to come out with a statement.
Radio now on my show, and now Keanu's mother's all pissed at me.
Oh,
this man! Can I say this man is 60? I'm sorry, John, 58. He's a 58-year-old man saying, I cranked my pecker to a girl and now her mom's mad at me. Like, John, take stock of your life, man. Take a step back and look at what's happening. That you announced on a podcast that you jerked off to a girl and now you're bickering with her mother about how you should be allowed to do that.
Don't worry, he apologizes.
Oh, good. Well, let's hear. Thank God. That's what you always want as a mother. Is like, at least if a man is gonna beat his rotten pecker to my daughter, hopefully he'll be man enough to apologize.
Now, I want to apologize to Micheline Thompson there for beating off to your daughter.
Look, think about that statement.
Ugh.
I want that tattooed to his forearm or something, so he can look at it every day.
Yeah, you have to go like, I said this.
I would like to apologize for beating off to your daughter. But hey, if you think that is just pure class, wait till the other shoe drops on John's statement here.
I promise I'll beat off to you too. It'll be a threesome.
He finds himself so
It'll
funny.
be me, You and Keanu, and I'll beat off to that. Be a nice threesome.
What a pig.
Like, and he gets pissed off at anyone saying anything to him.
He really is a disgusting man.
He gets pissed when people bring up his kids. He's talking to this woman about jerking off to his daughter.
Well, that's the main thing I wanted to show here. Well, Craig, that's silly. He doesn't get pissed off about people talking about his kids.
Oh, that's right.
He doesn't care about that anymore. That's right. He's evolved. He's going to pretend it doesn't bother him. That's his new strategy, which we'll get to. But yeah, you're exactly right. Where he's saying to this woman, "Hey, sorry I beat off to your daughter. I'll beat off to the both of yous making out next time, lezzing out with each other." Now, John, take a step back. Imagine, just try and imagine someone saying that about your kids. Would it bother you, John? Because if the answer is no, that's fine. Like, you're allowed to, by the way, John's allowed to say that he beat off to Keanu. I think it's gross and weird to announce, but of course he's allowed to say that. What makes it so vexing is that he's a man who says the mafia doesn't even attack children. Well, everyone's someone's child, John. That's what you have to. What's crazy is Keanu is virtually the same age as John's oldest son. I think.
Treacherous grounds.
I know. The oldest one is 27, and I think Keanu's like 30. So they're basically the same age. So I don't know if Carl said that your daughter looks like Baba Booey. That's something you should talk about for 3 years. But Keanu's mom should just fucking get over it. You know.
That's a very cute way of saying something, but making it Carl's fault. I enjoyed that.
Well, John doesn't rant about me saying it. I don't know what his daughter looks like.
Holy shit. Can you imagine getting upset because you have a beautiful daughter and she wears sexy clothes?
Hold on, John, I gotta say, you might be missing the crux of the issue.
Oh, he is disgusting.
Now, listen, again, I would say to Keanu's mom, your daughter's on a podcast. She sexualizes herself. Like, Keanu made jokes about it. She said something like, if you're going to be mad about people that jerk off to me, you'll have to be mad at the whole world, Mom. Like, it was kind of funny. So she plays along with it, whatever. She doesn't care. But, like, you know, she has the right to be like, oh, this guy's kind of a pig. He's gross. Right. He keeps talking about jerking his prick to my daughter. I don't love that. Nor would John. But listen to him just not understand the hypocrisy. Let's not forget, he's abandoned. The hypocrisy police have been defunded.
That's true.
We've all forgotten that. That you know, hashtag defund the hypocrisy police worked. And they're jobless and out on the streets now because John has been as hypocritical as anyone. That's what we're focusing on today, is areas where John was hypocritical. So it could be a long one.
Guys need shit in the spank bank. So, Michelin, I promise next time, you look pretty hot. Next time I'll beat off to you two, okay? Oh, this way we'll all be good.
Listen to him laugh. You're just a rotten old man.
He's a real ladies' man. He's going to jerk off to other streamers.
This is where, so like, the argument with Howard Stern that I hear is always like, oh, what, you didn't expect the guy to evolve? He's 70 years old. You think he should be talking to women the same as he did when he was 40 or whatever? Mm-hmm. No, I think he should evolve. Howard has gone to an extreme. But if he stopped doing this at age 60, that I would applaud. That I would say actually is growth. That John still talks exactly the same as he did when he was 25. And by the way, in the 90s, like when he was on a shock jock radio show, where he thinks now it's like cute of him to be like, I'll beat off to you too, sweetheart. What a scamp.
Troy Smith, $2. Hi kids, FKB, FSJ, FVTL, hashtag Joe Matters least.
I agree with all of that. I second all of that. That's a great notion.
But don't worry. It's a compliment, Mike.
Yeah, how do you not know that? I'd love to be jerked off to by Stuttering John.
Oh man, I can't believe someone's upset because I beat off Tim. I mean, come on.
Okay, John. John, remember this. Try and remember this, because John's a tad forgetful.
Mm-hmm.
He says he has a mind like a steel trap, but he leaves the door ajar on occasion.
Yeah.
So remember this, John. When people are in your chat saying, hey, I just jerked off to your trans kid over and over again, and you have a meltdown, remember that you said it would be silly to feel that way. This is the problem with John, is he doesn't realize these things are documented. He says them, everyone remembers. Like, you know, I get it must be weird having multiple shows cover you, so every word you say is documented.
Mhm.
But like, John, you are saying these things into a microphone. So just try and remember that the next time you get really worked up, because it will happen when you get worked up about someone making jokes about your kids. Just remember that you said, I can't believe someone would get this emotional about a joke. It's crazy.
Now there's a super chat, and we have to read them. So,
Okay.
Zach Hoffman, $2. I saw this mess in Atlantic City. He has horrendous BO.
Yeah, who knows if that's true or not? I'd hate to be sued. It sounds very far-fetched what this guy is saying. That's a ridiculous claim.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to believe that.
So we have no way of verifying it.
It just smells like dried cum and shame.
Thank you for. Well, yeah, he when you saw him, sir, he had freshly jerked. So could you take that into consideration? He was freshly milked.
I mean, how couldn't you? I'm sure
Now,
Gino.
let me. So
Couldn't you? I never have.
go back just a little bit because I want to hear that again. But with John, essentially what Carl said about John's kids, one of the things he has a gripe with, he said they were losers, which is just very. That doesn't mean anything. Hey, Craig, your kids are losers.
Dude, easy.
All right, that was a little over the line, but in general, it doesn't mean anything. but it's just mean you could say it about anyone. But the thing where Carl said something about John's kids that was technically like personal is he said something to the effect of John's daughter looks like Baba Booey, which is an insult to both of them, or something like that. In the context, it made more sense than the way I'm portraying it. But basically, he said that John's daughter looks like Gary Delabate, which I imagine is not a compliment.
Which is a recent episode of Why Are You Laughing, right, DJ Electra? Where's the promotion?
Yeah, come on, DJ. Get in there.
Come on.
Like and subscribe, folks. So essentially what Carl is saying is, I don't jerk off to your daughter. Now that is, to John, apparently more offensive than him saying, I jerked off to your daughter, and now I'm going to jerk off to you.
You know what, Army Major? I want to take your wife, and I'm going to spread her on your dining room table. It's a compliment, okay?
This is what John said. John's all worked up. He's like, Carl's like, yeah, I wouldn't jerk off to your daughter. John's saying, well, I would. So it's like, this is better somehow.
Johnny Russo, $5. New Anthony Cumia book, Spare Me, available now for pre-order online. Old school skirts to earth, Cumia.
I saw Cumia. He was on Chrissy Mayr's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, did I step on you?
He just said this guy said he co-wrote it, and fuck Stuttering John.
Oh, well, check out Cumia's book, I guess. I saw he was talking about Gillis on Chrissy Mayr's show.
Mhm.
Just saw a clip of it. And it was very funny because Anthony was like laughing about it. He goes, Shane's calling me a racist mental patient. Why are these people getting all worked up about this? He's saying, hey, I'm on Compound Media, the racist network. Why are they angry?
It is a good point.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Cumia should be mad, maybe. But he's just kind of looking inward going, yeah, you know.
Yeah, the guy makes a good point.
I see nothing false.
I stand with beating off to Keanu. I mean, how couldn't you? I'm sure Gino's happy to hear it.
I'm sure he's not.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure he's not.
That's what everyone wants to hear. Hey, I jerked off to your wife. How are the kids? It's a how do you do in the Melendez world.
Right.
You know, you walk up to a guy on his wedding day. I'm going to make sure to jerk off to the bride later. Congratulations.
Dude, I'm remembering this for later. When I'm
John gets up and
inevitably-
gives a toast.
when I'm in Atlantic City and I'm inevitably by myself, I'm gonna remember her boobs.
I think we can all agree the bride is looking very jerkable today. Waits for applause.
Uproarious applause.
What a compliment, this charmer. I think Gino would be proud. Yeah, I think he's going to frame those words. He's going to type out those words and have it framed on his wall. Or maybe, you know what, John? If it's such a compliment, you should send him a picture of the act. You holding up a picture of Keanu and cranking your pud. Maybe they'll frame it.
Jimmy in the chat. This isn't a super chat. I just thought it was funny. He just says, "I was jerking off to you. Why aren't you honored?"
You're in my Spank Bank Hall of Fame.
It should be an honor for everyone.
When I was talking to Joey C, I was like, "Hey, Joey, I said I would hit your wife, meaning I think she's pretty."
Can I say, by the way, John should change that phrasing.
No shit.
I said I would hit his wife.
I'm surprised he hasn't been punched in the face.
I don't think there's any region where that's the term you use.
No.
If you don't mean domestic violence.
I mean, I've heard some people say like, "Oh, I'd hit that."
I'd hit that, but like, I'd hit your wife is a bizarre sentence to not realize you've made a faux pas.
Joey, see, your wife's so hot, I would bash your brains in.
Yeah, and by the way, that's a confidant I would note is like, hey, Joey C wasn't offended when I said I would fuck his wife. Oh, well then.
Well, I'm sure he actually was.
I'm sure, yeah. I think actually, now that I think about it, that might be what John's saying is that Joey C got offended by that because that's why the Ojeda thing came up. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
When he's like, Richard, now if I say I want to pork your wife,
No, I want to
Rich-
eat a sweet, sweet box.
Richard was legitimately like, yeah, no, I mean, like if someone said, I'm going to pretend you didn't just say that to me, John, and I'm going to say that if someone were to say that to me, I'd fucking strangle them. I'd knock their teeth out. Does that answer your question?
Let me ask it in another way.
If I were to say, I take care of my business to your wife, is that more appropriate?
Now,
That's
if I
that's
told
the other-
you when I went to the bathroom 5 seconds ago, I wasn't actually using the bathroom.
Well, that's the other weird thing about John is like, let's say I said I don't really talk this crassly, but let's say that I did. Like, it's not that far fetched to imagine I said this about some woman once. If I said on the show if that got brought up, I would think like, oh, I get why she's annoyed at that.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, freedom of speech and all that. I'm joking around, but I get why she didn't love that. I wouldn't double down and be like, well, now, good luck, honey, because now I'm jerking it to you. And John has the worst superpower of all time.
I was gonna say, dude, he's like the Death Star blowing up Alderaan. He just turns slowly and jerks off towards someone else.
If Lex Luthor could only use his imagination.
You guys want to see some kryptonite? Everyone scatters.
Oh, I'm about to shoot kryptonite.
Pretty. It's not a fucking insult. It'd be an insult if I said, you know, I wouldn't beat off to her with your dick, but no.
No, John, you don't have to comment on whether or not you would jerk off to a human being. There's a middle ground there. John, every woman John meets, he just announces whether or not he'd crank his pud.
You make it move, honey.
God forbid he meets a group of women. I'd jerk it to you. I wouldn't jerk it to you. If I was a little drunk, I might jerk it to you. You seem to get me going.
Couple 2-3 Coors Lights and I'm jerking it to you.
Jerking it.
Is he like 12? Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like that was kind of the appeal of Howard Stern in the 90s is it was like, you know, childish humor for lack of a better word. Like it was you were laughing at things you shouldn't be laughing about really. Now that's been done to death. So a man that is just saying I would jerk off to your wife is just a crude sociopath that doesn't understand how people perceive him. It's not edgy content anymore.
Troy Smith in the chat just called it hippo kryptonite. That's very funny.
Kryptonite.
That's very
funny. That's
that might
very
be
good.
that might be the name of the episode.
Hypocryptonite.
Let me write that down so I don't forget it. But that was the end of that part. Now we move on to.
Oh yeah. So the next day he has a different enemy. It's no longer the mother of someone he's been jerking off to. Now it's a mentally challenged comedian.
Yeah, we got him talking about Ray DeVito.
Yeah. No, they got it. They understood.
Okay.
The show was with Brennan, Stevie Lou, and Sad Sack DeVito.
What a star-studded lineup.
Sad Sack DeVito.
I missed that episode.
And Kevin's taking a piss at a Ray.
Okay, I have to correct John's language. Again. Do you know what he means there?
Nope.
It's like the British. John thinks he's British for some reason.
DeVito?
It's why he says to people like "we're quid," which I don't know what that means. But
money.
He says he says I'm taking a piss out of him, which I guess is like I'm busting his balls. So that's what John means. He's talking in very confusing English dialect for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, why would he do anything straightforward?
Yeah.
And Sad Sack DeVito. Sad Sack DeVito. And Kevin's taking a piss at a Ray. Now, in true pile-on fashion, I then proceeded to wind Ray up.
Whoa. John, are you saying that you were on the internet and you saw someone's balls getting busted, and you thought it'd be fun to join in?
Wow.
John, are you saying you saw some harmless schmuck getting mocked on the internet and you thought it might be funny to also crack a few jokes at his expense?
It's not pointed
John,
at me?
Haven't you considered that Ray might not like that? And Ray is someone's child. This is bizarre hypocrisy, where he's like, yeah, so we were all poking the idiot, and so I wanted to get a few pokes in myself. Yeah, John, that's what Dabblers Anonymous is. How fucking delusional are you? How do you not realize this?
You know what? This is actually pretty fun.
Oh, when it's not me, I enjoy it.
He was hitting his breaking point. It was funny as fuck. Because I watched it. Ask Stevie Lou. I said, Stevie Lou.
No, I mean it. Go right now and ask him.
Stevie Lou, where are you?
Ray's getting really upset now. Because I made the joke. I said, it's an old joke. I said, Kev, I had a great time with you. Stevie, I had a great time with you. Ray, Kevin, I had a great time with you. But I know he was getting irritated.
You forget underneath all of it what a Catskills hack John is.
We don't get to hear him joke anymore. He's usually just offensive.
And then I said, take my wife, please. I says, hey, Ray, two Jews walk into a bar.
He doesn't get any respect, but he didn't say it as a joke.
Boy, I'll tell you. There's so many things to criticize John about that you forget he's a vaudeville fucking cornball.
Yeah.
Also, the joke doesn't work. He says, Kevin, great to see you. Stevie Lou, great to see you. Ray, Kevin, great to see you. Why would you go back to the first guy? That's not how goodbyes are done.
No. Dang Lizard, €5. Stuttering John talked about how beautiful KB's wife and KB are, that they must have beautiful kids, but then caught that he just made a Kreger's.
I heard that, where he was like, they must have really beautiful kids. Oh no, I sound like a creep. But what I'm saying is, Kevin's a pretty handsome guy. His wife is really hot. Therefore, they must have beautiful kids. Okay, great.
Anyway,
I don't know. Two ugly people could have handsome kids as well, I guess, John. I don't know. It's just how their genetics line up.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, but yeah, he has this thing where he's talking about people's wives. It's very weird. When he's so anti talking about family, like, hey, you're not supposed to bring up family. You don't talk about my family. But I guess if he's talking about pleasuring himself to your family, that's fine.
That's fine. That seems above board to me.
Yeah. All right, but now back to John explaining how enjoyable it was to take this sort of mentally deficient D-grade comedian and poke fun at him. You know, have him kind of be the punching bag for you. Why was that so fun, John?
If you're gonna wind somebody up, you're doing it to get a rise out of them. And boy, did I get a rise. He went ballistic. You're an old loser. You know. Let's have a roast battle, Ray. My arms would hurt having to punch that far down. Okay, Ray?
Oh.
I'm not.
What is Ray? 3'9"? We saw how tall John was in Atlantic City.
I think he's talking about how much better of a career he has.
I know that's what he's talking about.
Which I know that steps on the joke, but I want to talk about that. Like, how much better than Ray DeVito is he doing?
I don't know. I mean, Ray, I don't know if Ray's a good comic. Honestly, I've never seen his stand up. But I guess he put out a dry bar special that has like 100,000 views on YouTube recently.
Damn.
Yeah, so like I think he's doing okay. I don't think he sells out a ton of clubs or anything. Like, I don't think he's a, I think he makes a living in stand up, which is good. Like, John doesn't do that.
I was gonna say, doesn't he sell like 9 tickets to like a bar?
John does not make a living in stand up. Now he says things like, he's like, I wasn't even getting paid for this appearance in Atlantic City. It wasn't an appearance, John. It was a weekend away for you.
You thought you'd get recognized at the casino.
That's like me. That's like literally like if I go to the mothership and I'm like, is Mr. Rogan going to send me my check now? You came here on your own volition, sir.
Yeah.
Like, you just went there. But he threw in this line that I found very interesting. He goes, me and Baba Booey used to get $3,500 for an appearance like that. And I said, John, there are so many factors here that you're not taking into account. The amount that Baba Booey matters in that statement. I'm not even saying because Baba Booey's a bigger part of the Howard Stern show, which he was. But my point is more the Howard Stern element of it.
Correct.
You were on the biggest radio show of all time. So yes, you and High Pitch Eric and all these other freaks could go out and make money just by saying you were associated with that show. Hey, if you can make a living like that, it's very good. That's what you should do.
At the height of Artie on Stern, he was getting like $150,000 a weekend.
Well, that's because Artie's more talented than John.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's a lot for anybody.
Right.
So
right.
Just the fact that Stern would pump wherever he was.
So, but what John is misunderstanding is like, hey, he says I get $3,500 for an appearance like that. No, you got that, and now you get less or zero because you're not a relevant guy anymore. Now, to this group of people, you are relevant. And Vinnie Paulino tried to put something on where you made money and people would come to see you. Instead, you backed out of that because you're a coward and said, I'll just show up in Atlantic City and hope people pay for my beers and give me money.
Ugh.
There's a great one we don't even have where some super chatter goes, hey, I was in Atlantic City and I bought a couple Coronas for myself because I didn't want to keep getting back up. I buy 2 Coronas, I put them down on the table. I go to grab my second one and I realize it's gone. I look over and John is drinking it. Now, when I saw this super chat, I expected John to be like, this person's lying.
Yeah.
What he said was, so many people were buying me beers. How was I supposed to know that wasn't for me?
What a fucking scumbag.
He goes, fine. Give me your Venmo. I'll Venmo you $10 if you want it that bad.
What a fucking scumbag.
That's not it's the principle of it, John. He really is a complete dirtball. It's fascinating to watch.
Hackride just said he just jerked off to Blind Mike Project, and we should be complimented.
Wow, that's very flattering, Hackride. Thank you.
Save it for 9 p.m. tonight on Hackride's YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
I'm gonna jerk off talking about Blind Mike Project.
Best. The evening jerk. Recapping.
The honor of having a roast battle with me.
I swear to God, I forgot which clips we were on. I thought he was going to say the honor of me jerking off to you.
I did too. That would be good.
Sorry, go back a little bit.
Do you know how much of a complimentary piece of shit I am?
You know, let's have a roast battle, Ray. My arms would hurt having to punch that far down. Okay, Ray?
I do like Ray. So I think on Wednesday, Carl said, why is John trying to fight everyone? Like, these are not boxers. These are not men who are in shape. They're supposedly comedians. They should be doing, like, if they want to do something like that, do a roast battle or something you're qualified to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, Ray is like, let's roast battle. Oh, where'd you get that idea, Ray?
I'll box John. Let's do it.
I'm not giving you the honor of having a roast battle with me. The only reason that you would want to do it because you could put on your resume, had a roast battle with Stuttering John.
Oh my God.
I'd be embarrassed.
What a resume builder.
No offense, but you haven't done anything.
Oh my God.
I realize, I don't know if John knows what a resume is supposed to look like. Because on his resume, he keeps pumping out that he wrote for this. Keep in mind, listen to the event I'm about to say, and keep in mind his role was that of writer. The Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championships. That sounds like Mad Libs that I just made up.
I thought you were going to continue talking. That was it.
No. It's the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championships,
Oh,
which I imagine is
lucrative.
two NFL players arm wrestling each other.
That's what I would guess.
What do you think the writer does in that room?
Do a joke about steroids, and that's why you won.
How integral is the writing staff for that event? What could he possibly be doing?
There's so much scar tissue on this guy's butt cheeks from injecting himself every day.
Yeah. So John thinks a resume is something just full of your worst moments in life, things that embarrass you, which is why he thinks Ray is desperate to put on there, had a roast battle with Stuttering John. Do you think? Imagine anyone getting called to. Hey, you might know this guy from his podcast, whatever the fuck, from roast battling a stunt boy from a radio show in the 90s. Turd from Man Cow wasn't available, so he roast battled Stuttering John.
Oh, man.
What a resume builder. Is that the guy who roast battled Stuttering John?
I think here, though,
You congregate with us regular folk?
John's going to give us a little taste of his roast material here.
Oh, good.
Today, I just heard he got into another car accident.
Oh, no.
Although this time it has a very sad ending. He lived.
Oh, I didn't see that coming from 10 million miles away. You could see that coming from other galaxies.
He got in a car crash while there was a spotlight on him and a microphone in his hand.
Hey, Ray got into a car crash. Unfortunately, he lived. Waka, waka, waka.
Oh, yeah.
He is a cat scales hack. It's crazy. He's like stuck in the 1950s. When he was talking about the jerking off stuff, I thought he was stuck in the 90s. He's in like 1948
Yeah, at this point.
at the Poconos.
I mean, and he lives in someone's basement in Cleveland, no less, which is a shithole. Hello, Cleveland.
What's
Oh,
that mean?
don't know.
Why are they British? What's the Hello Cleveland? I don't get that.
No, what's the Drew Carey's thing?
Cleveland rocks.
Oh, yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm trying to think. I'm grasping at straws to help him.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's pretty rough when John says things like, the honor that I would be bestowing upon you by roast battling you. But then this is what his ego is he has to prove how great of a roaster he would be. And then he says something like that. Like, hey, Ray got into a car accident. Unfortunately, he lived. It's like that's such a long way to go for a roast joke. You have to pretend that he was in a car accident?
Yeah. If Stuttering John was in a roast battle with Ray, it would unite all of these shows. Every beef that there ever was would be squashed to help Ray write the perfect jokes. So John would get crushed.
I think if Ray didn't have any help, he'd beat John. I think Ray, from the little I know of him, is a better joke writer than John. I don't think John, John talks about all the writing staffs he's been on, but I don't believe him. I'll put it that way. I just don't believe him. I'm sorry. I don't believe that he contributed to any of these writers' rooms.
And I think Vince the lawyer would make John think he wrote good jokes, and they would be terrible. So
Right.
then he'd go out with the confidence.
But they would all be that level. They'd be like, fucking, like Rickles would have thrown them away in the 70s. Because he'd be like, this is just too corny,
Yeah. Dang Lizard, €5. Stuttering John basically wrote WATS banter. What's the pay for that, and how can I get the honor to put that on my resume?
You know what? You have carte blanche. Put it on there. Stick it on the resume. Hey, Ray's living in someone's basement in Cleveland. If he needs space to rent, maybe you should check between his ears.
No, see, like that's kind of a joke structure there, Mike. He just said he's living in a basement in Cleveland, and Cleveland fucking sucks.
Cleveland is a shithole. Oh, now that's funny. I've never heard anyone diss Cleveland before.
No, me either. I mean, saying maybe like there's nothing to do is the worst I've heard.
No, he really takes on the big targets.
Here's some more jokes.
Oh, good. I was hoping we'd get a little taste. It's good that John says, I won't be reduced to roasting Ray DeVito. Like, I'm not going to give him the privilege. You have to understand what an honor it is for me to roast you. Anyways, here's what I would do if you were going to pay me for that.
You're a walking joke. You're a living, breathing joke.
Okay.
But I like you.
Oh.
I don't dislike you. I don't. You're welcome on the show anytime, Ray. I do like you.
Well,
That, by the way, I should say this. That is him saying, hey, Ray, why aren't you nice to me? I need friends. Why aren't you nice to me?
and for the visually impaired, he goes, I like you, and then wipes his drooly mouth with a napkin.
Well, that's a staple.
I do like you.
What an honor.
Ew.
Just bought some stock today.
Oh.
Ray, no, I don't mean chicken or beef, Ray. I mean stocks.
Ugh.
Hold on.
Ugh.
Hold on.
Ugh.
In the history of language, when anyone has ever said, I bought some stocks today, even before the stock market existed, did anyone think you meant livestock?
I immediately went, you making soup, John?
Why would you phrase it like that? I bought some stocks today. I don't mean chicken or beef.
No beef.
No.
Stocks.
Why would you? No one talks like that. That would actually make, if Ray leapt to that conclusion, it would actually make him like too smart for his own good. Like, no, Ray, how did you even get there in that mind filled with so many thoughts?
Big Moose says, name a comedian that couldn't beat John.
Who's the kid on Kill Tony with the he uses like the voice machine?
He would kill John.
Well, you didn't let me finish, Craig. Jesus Christ.
Come on.
If you destroyed his equipment,
Oh, yeah.
I think John would own him.
He kicks it underneath the stage.
Yeah, if you hid everything he needed to communicate.
Aaron Belial.
Aaron Belial, yes. I'm sorry, Aaron.
That's
So, yeah, okay. He didn't mean chicken or beef stocks, because that's what any idiot would assume he meant. when you say I bought stocks today.
Dude, I'm supposed to roast battle Aaron Belial, and I took his phone and I put it in my Coors Light. Good luck.
Good luck.
Chicken or beef, Ray? I mean, stocks.
Here's another thing, by the way.
That's the funniest thing he's ever said, apparently.
Oh, he loves it. John is a massive fan of John Melendez.
Yeah.
He would go if John Melendez was touring. John would go see him. It would be like the people that follow the Grateful Dead. John would see him in every city. John is far and away his biggest fan.
Oh, yeah, not even close.
But can I say this also? I own some stock.
Whoa.
Not bragging.
Beef?
Yeah, hold your applause. I'm just getting I'm just a guy making a point. I don't mean to brag. I own some stock.
Nice.
You don't have to be a particularly rich man. There are penny stocks. You could buy one share of an expensive stock. That's not that you don't have to be a man about town to afford stocks. You can download the fucking Robinhood app and buy a couple.
John probably doesn't know that, and he's buying penny stocks like, oh my God, I'm going to hit it big time.
John's still calling his trader. Hello, Wall Street.
Real stock, Ray. I mean, stock that you pay, like you spend a lot of money.
Is he going to be would Ray, in this situation, would Ray be hunting chicken and cow?
I think he's at the grocery store. He's going to make like a real hearty soup.
Well, in that case, you have to pay for those things.
Yeah.
John's like, no, I mean stock you have to pay for. You robbing the grocery store in this scenario?
He bought Wabbistics.
No, not beef stock, Ray.
John is cracking himself up at something Ray didn't say.
I know.
He is burning Ray DeVito while Ray is not there. Like, he's making up a scenario and owning Ray. Ray's not in the room with you. Ray didn't say these things. You didn't think you meant beef stock.
This must be like a real dilemma for Hackride. He was like, I hate Ray DeVito, but
I bought stocks today, not wood.
He's stockpiling.
The fucking guy in there, let's go road battle. Dude, I'm not punching that far down, Ray.
You just did.
Had to punch down in China.
Oh.
Oh, so he's racist too. Everyone clip that and send it out. How racist Stuttering John is.
Yes, terribly racist. I'd have to punch down to China.
It's like punching down in China.
Does John believe if we dug far enough, you just pop your head up? Oh shit!
I think he does. I think he does. John's kids.
Oh, interesting. John talking about his kids here?
Weird. I jerked off to them.
He ain't gonna
that's a compliment to their mother.
He ain't gonna do it to Brennan, so he decides he's gonna come after me. But he can't come after me for me. And there's so much to come after. Stuttering, OCD.
Okay. Oh, there's a couple things there.
Hideous, terrible look.
Well, that's the issue. Is John will be self-deprecating for the things he's okay with making fun of.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like, hey, I'm not a sensitive guy. If you want to make fun of the fact that my beard's too long right now, go for it.
I have some gray in my hair, don't I, guys?
That's not the first thing we want to make fun of. It seems you're brushing over some other aspects we might like to poke fun at.
Being 4'2", maybe.
So yeah, John is not very self-aware, which he accuses a lot of other people of. But go back a little bit because I forget my point now.
He ain't gonna do it to Brennan, so he decides he's gonna come after me.
Oh, that's what I meant to mention. He so the day before this, he says, "Hey, listen, I talked to my kids." So he already, he's lying. He goes, "I talked to my kids, and they said, Dad, why don't you just don't let these guys bother you? Don't let these trolls on the internet bother you." And I said, "I'm going to listen to them." Now, if you guys make jokes about my kids, I'm not going to let it bother me. Now let's hear the next day.
Come after me for me. And there's so much to come after. Stuttering, OCD. I mean, so many things.
Took me so long to get a freeway.
John, I heard John yesterday talking about his OCD. And he goes, listen, he goes, you know, when I got divorced, the reason I have liens on my house, like I stopped paying my mortgage, is because of my OCD. And I thought, boy, that's intriguing. How do you mean, John? This is interesting. I'm learning something about obsessive compulsive disorder. And he explains that his entire life, his mother paid for everything for him when he was a kid. And then when he was dating girls, he had them pay for things. And then when he was married to Susanna, she would always handle paying the bills. So my OCD wouldn't allow me to start paying my own bills. So John thinks OCD is just like reveling in your own filth, basically. Like, if you're just really lazy, like, you know, the show Monk.
Mhm.
You know, so he's a detective with OCD. That's the hook of the show. And what's really interesting about it is he revels in garbage all day. He rolls around in slop because, you know, he's so lazy. That's what makes the show really interesting, is that he's a lazy guy that can't write checks because of his OCD.
He just looks so sweaty too. It's disgusting. Just everything about him. Penis Wrinkle 12, $5. I don't think they were tuned in the whole time, unfortunately.
Oh no, penis!
Penis,
What are you
come
doing,
on.
penis?
Come on, penis. Once again, Blind Mike misunderstanding Stuttering John's genius. Stuttering John didn't mean stock as in livestock. That would be stupid. He meant chicken and beef stock you use for soup, Mike.
Oh yeah, Craig pointed that out. I'm sorry. Yes, that was very silly of me.
And then Nimrod, $2. John invested in stock jokes.
Now that's funny.
That's funny. That is funny.
You can use that, John.
We give you permission.
But what does he come after? Starts just railing on my children. I'm like, Ray,
Ew.
you can't just go after me. You got to go
Gross.
after my kids. Well, you said it was okay now. No, I never said it was okay.
So this is where John undoes everything he said the day before about how it's not going to bother him. This is one day later. It's insane to watch. I get, like, my whole thing with, like, let's stop talking about Stuttering John was, like, how repetitive it gets.
Mhm.
But at a certain point, you're like, how can he do it this often? How can he continue to just step on rakes every day?
John, please.
John, you're forcing me into this life. I don't
Stop
want
it.
it for myself.
You two are going to host a show together. It's going to happen.
We'll see.
I'm going to let it get to me. But you're an adult. Okay, Ray? You should know, as a comic, which I hear you're horrible, but as a comic, you should know. You don't go after kids, Ray. I'm here.
One
But
day
I'm
later.
not going to get upset with you.
Oh, good. Thank God. John, I would hate so much if you got upset. That would really bug me. I'm glad you're doing whatever this is instead.
Troy Smith, $2. Stock photo for his backdrop. VEWM.
BEWM. Oh, boom. Boom.
Boom. It took us too long.
About people goofing my kids, so you're like, okay, now I can make fun of his kids. I've been waiting for this all along. Turbo Melendez. Turbo Melendez. Oh, I'm a little too moved over here. I mean, this is what your comedy is? Goofing on the transgender community, Ray?
Oh, fuck off.
That's what's funny.
That's a hilarious way to brand yourself. I do a one-man show where I make fun of the transgender community through the children of former Howard Stern backstage character, Stuttering John Melendez.
You gonna tell me that Leah Thomas is funny or something?
This is, and John frames it like, This is what Ray's always been waiting for. As if like when John's kids were born, Ray was like, one day, one of these days, the world will know.
I mean, you're not just goofing on my kid. You're taking on the whole transgender community.
No, he's not.
Oh,
You think
They support my children. Someone's got to.
this is a man. Someone's got to. This is a man who seems truly unbothered. I have to say, he's doing a masterful job at not being bothered by any of this.
that's cool? After the show, I talked to Stevie Lou, and he's like, was that a line? It was.
Oh,
Totally.
Stevie Lou said it. Oh, I didn't. That changes everything.
I mean, I look at it differently now.
I didn't realize you had a conversation with Stevie Lou about this, John. Now I feel differently. Now you shouldn't make fun of your kids. It's all changed now. That's the thing. Like the area that I'm focused on these days is that John is so fixated on the idea that one day I'm going to stumble upon the perfect lineup of words. You know, put the perfect combination of words in the perfect order, and that everyone is going to understand my point. And then that'll be the end of the dues payer and Lady K. He's the world's worst evil villain. Because he doesn't put any effort into stopping the the heroes of the story.
He's the worst. He really is.
Is there any more?
He's playing. It's just he's drinking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'm not gonna fucking scream about it.
Oh, good.
If that's what you find, if that's your go-to, that's your, and the only reason why anybody goes to that.
This is one day after he said, make fun of my kids all you want, knowing, maybe not knowing, but you'd think he would have to know that's what everyone's going to do for at least the next week. You know?
Okay. Well, I said I give you permission to just rag on my kids, but don't.
Yeah, it's not going to bother me, so now you guys definitely won't, right? Like, John, you're literally asking these people to make fun of your children. How do you not get that?
I think they can read through the bullshit there, John.
Oh, guys, he said it's not going to bother him, so let's all just go home. Let's wrap this thing up.
Let's make fun of his height again.
Get a rise out of me. Ain't happening anymore.
It's not happening.
No. He's definitely not risen here. He's not getting a rise out of him.
We got more jokes.
Oh, good. He's going back to showing how devastated Ray would be if they were to tango in a roast battle. If they were to go toe-to-toe, let's see what these two titans would come up with.
I wish I could make the joke. Ray made the biggest blunder in show business history. He entered it. I can't even say that because he's not in show business.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
Why is he laughing so hard?
He's wiping his mouth extra in this one. It's gross.
Well, it's good because you know when you're really excited when you have a home run of a joke, you slobber a lot like a fucking Doberman pincher.
Next time I think of a nice, quippy one-liner, my mouth's going to start drooling, and I apologize.
That's what it'll be. I imagine. Like I think Shane's going to do very well on SNL, but it'll be tough for him to speak with all the foaming at the mouth he's doing.
Today, and she's a waitress at the comic strip.
Go back just a little bit. So this is Kate Meany. Are you? You and I haven't talked much about Kate Meany. Are you familiar with her?
I've just seen her on Twitter. I don't know.
Daughter of Kevin Meany, and John has done this back and forth where he's like, I'm not trying to fuck Kate Meany, but I love her. But I'm not trying to fuck her because she's younger than one of my children or something like that. Like that's how you know, because no one's ever wanted to fuck a 24-year-old if they have kids, I guess. So he says he doesn't want to fuck her. We're just friends. Then he says she's a bitch with fat arms and cellulite on her legs, and she's an unfunny pig. And then when she compliments him again, he's like, you know what? Kate's really cute, actually. I think she's really swell.
Do you remember Hackride, by the way, wanting to have a moderator in the chat?
I do, yeah.
It's starting to make sense for me now. Because
Well,
this person he wanted to have moderate just commented, want to catch Electrify and Hackride again starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Replay of this week's Catch 22 puzzle blocks with Hackride.
Okay. Yes. No, I appreciate that. I think in the middle of our show, what people should be thinking about is other shows to watch.
To be fair, Electrify did right after. Get all the Blind Mike links and subscriptions at blindmike.net.
Yeah, thanks, Electra. Hey, you guys want to catch up on everything Blind Mike? Go to a different channel.
Go watch a different show that's unrelated.
That's crazy.
That's very funny.
Yeah, guys, do that. But hopefully you wait till we're done, you know?
Watch this whole thing first.
Give us a little room to breathe here, and then focus on everything else there is to watch.
Troy Smith, can't wait for puzzle blocks.
I'm perfectly happy to promote. This is where I assume Hackride's going to be like, oh, he doesn't want to promote the show. I'm perfectly happy to. It shouldn't be my main focus. Can we all agree on that? It shouldn't be the center of this show is promoting Hackride.
I think it is.
Well, go do it. Go subscribe. Now, where were we, for God's sake?
I wish I could make the joke. Ray made the biggest blunder in show business history. He entered it. I can't even say that because he's not in show business.
Is that what the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar treatment you gave?
Show business.
Hey, I'd say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't a great actor, but he's not even an actor. Okay.
Oh, you said it wrong. He's not even You gotta wipe your mouth too.
He's so excited.
Imagine that fucking apartment stench. Just those gross rags he's using to wipe his mouth. Just
people say,
on the floor.
People say I laugh at my own jokes. This is a new level. I've never seen anything like this.
I'll giggle if I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I think I had something.
But here's the thing: is like, I think people do that often when, like you said, we're all busting balls, having a good time. John's in a room alone. John is cracking only himself, and there's no one there to make him laugh.
I don't think I've ever made myself laugh to the point that I was short of breath and couldn't speak.
I said I used this stock line from 1958. I did the reason Lenny Bruce tried to change comedy. That's the type of joke I did.
I went to poke Vince Deloy's eyeballs, but he put his hand up and blocked me.
I did a joke that Milton Berle wouldn't steal.
I was talking to Kate today. And, she's a waitress at the comic strip. And she goes, the manager at the comic strip likes to fuck with Ray. So when he shows up to the comic strip, the manager goes up to him and goes, all right, I'll give you a seat, but there's a 2-drink minimum. I'm here to perform. I'm a comic. If you have to start yelling to the manager of a comic strip that you're a comic, you're not a comic.
It's very interesting. Are you familiar with the origin of the term dabbler, Craig?
No.
It's because Chrissy Mayer, who's she's a stand-up. She had Stuttering John on her program and said, so, like, do you dabble in comedy or how often? Like, basically asked him, like, do you do stand-up still? And John was like, honey, do I do stand-up? Do you have any idea who you're talking to? He got very offended that she said he dabbles in I dabble in comedy? That's where this all started from. Now, this was very hurtful to John. It was not funny at all. Now John's source of comedic material is that Ray had to explain to someone he's a comic. Does John ever look at himself and think, maybe this is why people goof on me? Maybe me and Ray DeVito aren't that different.
This is why you had to get rid of the hypocrisy police show.
John, it's very interesting that John talks about, like, resumes. Like, Ray wants to put this on his resume because he thinks, like, life happens on paper. Like John thinks you could look at a resume and say, "Oh, he worked for Jay Leno's Tonight Show and the Howard Stern Show."
That's a great resume.
And I guess wrote for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast. So we should never make fun of him. Like there should be no jokes about this man. No, that's not how anything works, John.
Yeah,
Elon Musk gets made fun of.
If we do a roast battle, I'm gonna put you in the ground.
Like, this is the thing: is John used to do a political show goofing on the president. It's like, so you're allowed to make fun of him, but if you have the resume of John Melendez, that's untouchable for some reason.
John talks about resumes like KB talks about your money.
Yes. Yeah, these are two guys, him and Kevin Brennan, are very obsessed with other people's achievements. Like whatever, they're very fixated on what everyone else is doing. And it's probably because they're not satisfied with what they're doing themselves.
They would fuck with me like that, Ray? No. Think they would fuck with Brennan like that? No. Think they would fuck with Dixon like that? No.
Boy, what a holy trinity of comedy.
At least Kevin Brennan is capable.
Stuttering John, but who's fourth on your Mount Rushmore, Craig? After Stuttering John, Kevin Brennan, and Pat Dixon.
It has to be Tom Myers.
That's quite a holy trinity there. Those three.
Yeah.
They walk into any club in America. They say, "Please go right up." People will flock in here if John, KB, and Pat Dixon are walking in.
Hey, Chris Rock, you getting bumped?
I don't know. I don't know if Pat Dixon still does comedy. John and Kevin Brennan literally quit because they weren't getting booked. They stopped doing comedy.
Is they that good?
Yeah. Because they're that legendary. They've done it all already.
It's not because I wasn't getting booked. They just couldn't afford me anymore.
Well, John thinks he was canceled.
Oh, yeah.
That's the great part. He thinks him and Louis C.K. got the same treatment.
Here we have him, or this was just labeled stunning hypocrisy.
We've seen it already, but now let's find out what this is.
Ray, you give us reason to goof on you. I mean, if you're going to put a sandwich in your pocket, if you're going to do a costume change at halftime, if you're going to walk around a casino with a laundry basket, you don't think we're going to goof on you? If you're
Who's we, John?
Beer,
If you're gonna
If you're gonna buy me a beer or you buy yourself one, and I just kind of take it when you look somewhere else.
John's whole thing is like, hey, people in the Dabbleverse shouldn't make fun of me because they don't know me. But John, time and again, admits he doesn't know Ray at all. He said earlier, like, I've never seen any of his comedy. I've heard he's terrible. Like, he doesn't know these things. He doesn't know Ray.
That's just
and yet he's like, hey, if you act like a moron, people should be able to make fun of you. John, what do you think this all is? It's crazy.
Joseph Collins, $5. His name isn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's Roger Murdoch, and he's the co-pilot.
That's right. Yes. It's very good in Airplane.
Airplane was great. Great movie.
but you didn't even buy it from the casino? You just brought it from home? You don't think I'm going to goof on that?
I mean, can someone put together a list of things John has done that's mockable? Like, crazy.
Yeah, we have time, right?
Every day he's in an argument with an Uber Eats driver at his door. It's John, you've given us no choice but to make fun of you. I'm addicted to it. I keep coming back for more.
You're delivering my French fries with my Coors Lights. The temperatures are off.
So if you have the peace of mind to say this about Ray, again, just take a step back, take stock in your own life, and no, I don't mean chicken or beef.
Hackride said he's going to get Stuttering John on Gearbox to respond.
Good. I hope so. Thank
See,
you.
that would be fucking great. Do that.
He has fucking like Gillis and Louis J. Gomez on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He and Rogan are breaking down my appearance with Lauren Compton. Like, what the fuck is this show?
That would be fantastic. I think Bert Kreischer would actually like these guys.
It, man. Take it like a man.
Or a woman that was a man.
You can't be that fucking full of yourself, Frey.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's nuts that he talks like that.
That is insane.
Yeah. Is that all we had on John today?
No, we have one.
There's more,
that's
this
called-
asshole continues?
yeah, this is called Last One.
Oh, thank God.
Kate Meany, I think this is the real one. I love you, babe. I love you too, Kate.
Oh, God. Get ready to get sick.
Okay. Can't wait.
Remember I told you about Kate Meany?
Yep.
How he's like, he goes back and forth. He loves her, he hates her, he loves her, he hates her. Very, very schoolyard, pulling her pigtails type of stuff.
Yeah.
This is way grosser than him talking about jerking off to Keanu.
Kate Meany, I think this is the real one. I love you, babe. I love you too, Kate. I do.
Oh.
Cute.
Kate and I talk. I love her laugh.
Oh.
I'm not hitting on her. But she
No, you're schmoopy.
The way she breathes into the telephone is so adorable.
How's my schmoopy?
I love a laugh.
Little Kate Meany. You know what, Kate? Your father was famous for saying, "I don't care, but I do care about you very much."
Her eyes are second to none. They're gorgeous.
This is literally, we've heard this guy talk about this. Now, this is a 24-year-old that he says is too young for him. He doesn't want to fuck her. If that's true, then this is way weirder. This is much more intimate and disgusting.
I wonder if this is like a Trojan horse. That'd be nice.
Possibly.
No, I'm not hitting on her. But I love to make her laugh. She's got a great laugh. And you know what? That means a lot. Like, it's like Karen had a great laugh. Susanna.
Craig, you don't know this. The dabblers know it, but what he is rattling off, the women, names of these women that he's listing?
Ones that have had problems with him and got the authorities involved?
No. Actually, it's women that he's fucked.
Oh.
So to prove that he doesn't want to fuck Kate Meany,
he's listing them all.
Listen to this list of exes that he read. Now I don't want to fuck Kate Meany, but here is the pantheon of laughs I would put her in.
Susanna
His
had
ex-wife.
a great laugh. Jessica had a great laugh, and Kate has a great laugh. And this
That's another great Mount Rushmore.
Did you hear him? And this other girl I dated.
Hold on, play that again.
Has a great laugh. And this one girl I dated, Alyssa, had a great laugh. It was like, it was cute.
Boy, that sounds sexy.
Not person.
You dated Krusty the Clown.
I dated someone that laughed like, durf.
Gosh, John.
Wow, she's hot.
What a girlish titter.
You become
That was the end of it.
So John is like, listen, I don't want to fuck Kate, but her laugh is exactly like all these women that have one thing in common. They've received my salty load.
I'm not gay, but Seth Rogen, when he laughs, I kind of get hard.
That's what he sounded like.
I know.
The disgusting laugh. Ooh, I'm imagining her in lingerie with that laugh. How hot.
Sexy.
Stavros Halkias.
Fran Drescher, hottest woman in Hollywood.
Jesus, John. But yeah, he does this gross thing with Kate Meany where he like flirts with her the way you would. Oh, she's so cute. Her laugh is so cute. It's like, John, this is way weirder. Because what you're saying is like, I wouldn't stick my prick in her, but I would have intimate conversations with her and obsess over cute little things she does. So you'll stalk her, you just won't fuck her.
He likes Carl's laugh from Billy Madison.
Oh, I thought you meant Carl from who are these podcasts?
No.
He doesn't seem to enjoy that one as much.
No, I don't think he likes when he hears that. He's usually the subject matter right.
He's on the
before
receiving end. Yeah,
he's the subject matter right before that laugh.
Yeah, it's interesting. If Susanna and Alyssa and all these women did a show mocking John, I wonder if he would find their laughs as cute.
He's like, this is mean, but like I'm so turned on at the same time.
They do have adorable laugh. That I can't take away from.
I can't deny how cute the laugh is.
That's so interesting to me. That's how deep a guy John is when he looks at a partner, he likes to make them laugh. He doesn't think of them as a hole to be filled.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at it as a receptacle for his goo.
If I hear you laugh and I assume you wear a helmet to go to the grocery store, I'm turned on.
Yeah, well, good for John. He's had quite a week, and Atlantic City was an interesting study in mania because now they're all again like he hates Kevin Brennan again. He did,
Of course.
it's crazy. It would just it take too much time, so I didn't have the Vince the Lawyer clips. But literally in the same episode, this is over the course of 2 hours. He's talking about Vince the Lawyer, what a scumbag Vince the Lawyer is, how he's done with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, an hour and change later, he has Vince on, and they're laughing like schoolgirls. And there's even there's like cringy moments where John's like, "Hey Vin, when I removed your hat, would you say that was the funniest moment in the history of the Dabbleverse?" And Vince is like, "No, not really." And John's like, "Well, it's up there though."
Teach it to him.
It's like he's just trying to bond with this guy. All right. Should we go from what time is it here? What time are we working with?
It's almost noon.
Okay. Should we go with checking out our friend Coach HP?
Always.
So the coach was at it again last week. If you guys missed it, it's up on YouTube now. So if you guys are audio listeners, go check out the YouTube because we found an interview that Coach HP did with a very important figure in Joe Rogan's life.
Yep, Scott Christ.
Scott Christ did some very, very important work for Joe Rogan. So go check that out. It's up on YouTube, or if you're a member, you got the whole episode last week. And we talked about Coach HP, this interview that he was doing. Now, I did also tease that he did an interview with someone in Dave Portnoy's life.
Yep.
So he put a like YouTube short up that said, "I sit down with Dave Portnoy's, a trainer that met Dave Portnoy, or a jockey that met Dave Portnoy." And so only that short is discussing Dave Portnoy, but the way he framed it, I thought it was the whole episode. No. The episode was half in Spanish and half in English. So I was like, "Coach, what are you doing? You're alienating both languages. Neither of us can watch the full episode." But that wasn't as chock full of moments. But what I did find, I think it's very appropriate because we do a podcast here.
Mm-hmm.
Been known to talk about other podcasts at times.
Yep.
Would you like to learn the rules of podcasting from one Coach HP?
I sure would. And I have info. Do you want to know how many views this podcast has before or after we watch it?
Well, when I checked it, it was 35. Has it gone up?
1.
That was me.
It would have been me too. I don't know.
So it's at 36 views now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So guys, keep that number in mind as we watch this, because Coach HP went to I guess that's why he interviewed Wallow for $1 Million Worth of Game.
Mm-hmm.
It was at some sort of podcasting conference, which why Gilly and Wallow would go to that, I have no idea.
I don't think Gilly did. He was like, no.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I'm sure they were paid or something. I have no idea why they would participate in that.
Well, he makes it sound like he's colleagues with some of the people that are there. I don't know if it's clipped in this or not, but there's one part where he's just like, it was me and like Charlemagne. Like,
oh yeah. Him and Charlemagne the God are hanging out.
Yeah.
So he's at this conference for podcasting, which sounds horrible already. But thank God. Guys, did you miss the conference? Because I know I did.
I did.
I know. I've been kicking myself. I didn't make it. Thank God Coach HP had his pen and paper out. He was taking notes.
To be fair, though, I think we have to go to the next one to try to get in touch with this guy.
Well, the one thing I should also point out is that when he was talking to Scott, do you remember? He was like, "Scott, just do a podcast. That's the most important thing in life is that you do podcasts."
Yep.
He pointed out that his how-to video on how to break in a baseball glove did very well. Now, what's interesting about those videos is, yes, they do very well, but the people that run those channels kind of have to sacrifice the fact that they can't be personalities,
Right.
You have to do how-to channels and not make it entirely about yourself. That's, I think, the disconnect that Coach HP has. So let's hear this video with 35 views.
How to have a successful podcast in 2024. That's the move this here.
Okay. All right. Right out of the gate, I'm guessing, is this an example of how not to do it, Coach?
He left the part in where he's adjusting the lavalier mic, which makes so much noise.
This is 8 seconds into his how-to video. He's like, hold on.
That's the question. How to have a successful podcast in 2024. So I just got back from PodCon.
It sounds like a joke. It sounds like it sounds like something Kirk would riff when he's making fun of like those radio conventions.
Right.
I was just at PodCon.
Successful podcast.
Yes, please.
I wanted to share the takeaway, give you my feedback on what I saw worked, what I saw people were doing there that's not going to work, my situation with my podcast. I
like that he's judging. He's looking at other people at this convention like, no chance. Like, he says, I saw people there, and I want to tell you what's not going to work. So he's just walking by people like, don't be this schmuck. He doesn't stand a chance.
Big Cat talked to me once.
Oh, and boy, does he. That's his intro. Is
I
Big
know.
Cat saying, hey, you're a positive guy.
And he sheepishly goes, it's the Coach HP podcast.
Yeah.
My dealings with the iHearts, with Podcast One, with all these different platforms that come at you when you have a successful show.
They come at you, Coach?
They come at you when you have a successful show, dude.
Do they come at you, or do you constantly knock on their door like Bryan Callen trying to get into the mothership?
Sweet.
Are you constantly talking to them saying, hey, Podcast One, iHeartRadio, could I please have some money?
JFK's head chunk says Sweet Holiday Inn Express Studio, which is exactly where it is.
I think that is where it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't leave this in, but he gives a shout out at the top of this to the Holiday Inn.
Does he?
He goes, oh, or whatever the hotel is. But he goes, hey, you guys got to check out the hotel so-and-so in Pennsylvania. It's a really great hotel. Check it out sometime. They let me use their, whatever they call it, like their office space. Their work center.
Andrea, the potential moderator, with a big comeback comment, says, come back tonight for the premiere of Gearbox, a show about the Blind Mike Project.
They get it. Can I ask you this? Has moderator Andrea said anything about this show?
That show is about this one.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad she's keeping the chat focused. I think you might be onto something, Craig. I suspect she got some very specific marching orders.
Yes, I mean, do you guys like Hackride?
Jesus Christ.
Well, turn this off and just recap it later with him.
Yeah. Hey, don't even think about this show. Why are you wasting your hours of show watching now? There's a show about this show later tonight at 9 p.m.
By the way, this still shot of Coach HP looks like he's disgustingly looking at the chat.
Oh, my God. Why are you watching this program when you could be watching Hackride? Hackride is a very funny man, much better than this show. Wouldn't you rather hear a demon break down this podcast than actually have to sit through it?
Hackride says, yes, she has. Craigers is cherry picking, which is the first time he ever ate a fruit. But dump
I liked it. I liked it.
Val,
Hello, folks.
Val, $2. ABWO.
Andrea Brower World Order.
Sure.
I think that's what it is.
I have no idea.
Come at you when you have a successful show or when they see you really got momentum. So
Oh, God, I wish Podcast One would leave me alone. I wish I could go anywhere without iHeartRadio jumping out of the bushes at me. Can I just live a life? Can I eat with my family?
I wanted to share with you guys, top things for a successful
Top
podcast?
things. He doesn't have a number. He just goes top things for a successful podcast. It's not top 5 or anything.
Hey, top
These are the
stuff.
top things.
Top stuff, guys.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what I meant to say is he found success. I guess his how to break in a baseball mid video got a ton of views. So he's like, I'm going to be the how-to guy, how to be positive, how to do a podcast. This one, you said, I'm sorry, what was the number again?
36.
Oh, 36. Okay, so it hasn't quite taken off the way the baseball mid video did.
So maybe if your view was 36, mine was probably 37. So it might be up to 37.
Oh, good. I hope so.
Yeah. Getting it up.
Hey, guys, you know what? Go watch that instead of us bullshit talking about it. Oh, Andrea Brower, put that in the chat if you could. Put a link to Coach HP's channel.
Rule number 1 from Coach HP here.
Oh, good. This is very important. Jot this down, please. I wish we had David Collins here. He likes taking notes.
I know. We should get him.
Oh, well, you know who was on with David Collins?
I'm surprised it hasn't been mentioned in the chat 100 times yet.
Yeah. We'll put it this way, guys. There's another show you should be watching other than this one. I don't think it's out yet, though.
David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show with Hackride and Electra. Tune in. Go tune in now. Like, leave.
Yeah. Well, it's not up yet, but just go leave this show and prepare for that one.
Stare at his YouTube channel until it pops up.
Yeah. It's important for you to be mentally ready for that show with Hackride and Electra, because we all know this one's dog shit.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
Yeah. It's worth. I mean, maybe it's worth talking about it like 9:00 tonight, but to watch it now would be very silly.
He's so stupid.
Number 1, guys, you got to start. People don't want to start. You want to worry about.
Hold on.
things
Wait,
like-
I was so mystified. I've heard this, and on a second re-listen, I thought that can't be the first rule. He's going somewhere. Let him. No. Let's start that over. Let's see. What's rule number 1 again? Because if you blink, you'll miss it.
Just do it. No, just do it, Nike.
Let me hear how he presents this.
Number 1, guys, you got to start.
Oh, I thought. Here's where I'm an idiot.
Mhm.
I didn't even know. Are we broadcasting right now?
No, I thought I listened to him and I was like,
See, I think you shouldn't even bother starting.
yeah.
That's where I'm an idiot. Is I thought if I just did this in my house and didn't plug this microphone in, I thought it would kind of be the same thing, right? Like that's more or less a podcast.
So I've been meaning to tell you this ever since you tweeted out that you were looking for a producer for this Blind Mic project like 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
We've just been sitting in StreamYard without going live.
No wonder. No wonder no one's fucking watching this thing. No wonder the after show is so much more popular.
You know how nervous we would be if we hit go live, though?
Just start as if there's someone perusing YouTube. Like, God damn it. The podcast I don't do isn't successful yet. Let me type in how to do a podcast. And then they hear number 1 and they're like, fuck. I'm a moron. Egg on my face.
Ozzy
I should have started the podcast.
Ozzy in the chat just says, number 1, be bored. I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised he didn't do that.
Number 1, start the podcast. Number 2, turn on your microphones.
Number
3, turn on the computer.
Thank God for blessing you to be on the earth at this time.
Number 4, make sure you have internet service. That's very important. You're going to need to upload these things to the internet.
We're never going to get through this.
Just start is the craziest rule. In other words, you know what number 1 is? Here's what rule number 1 really is. Just talk until someone tells you you're interesting.
Yes.
Just say words because you need things to say. I have no substance here, but I'm just going to talk and hope people mistake it for something. Rule number 1 is start.
Number 1.
Hey, you know what, guys? Listen, I'm not going to tell like Travis Kelce how to do his job. He's an elite athlete. Same with Patrick Mahomes. You know, Andy Reid. The Chiefs just won the Super Bowl. If they're gonna want to win another one, go 3 in a row, they're gonna have to play all those games next year.
Well,
I know. Listen, I know like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, those guys are afraid to say that kind of stuff.
I didn't even think of that.
But I'm here to tell you, if they don't play their games next year, they don't stand a fucking chance.
That's
all right? These other guys will tell you about X's and O's and all that kind of stuff. But I'm here to say they need to play the games first and foremost. That's rule number 1.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Number one, guys, you got to start. People don't want to start. You want to worry about things like, is this a good time to start? I don't want to put up too much content. Is this the right camera? I don't
want to put up too much content. I'm worried that people are going to think I'm putting up too much content. So my solution is putting up 0.
That was a big concern for us at the beginning of this.
I think
the much going on.
The best number to put. Yeah, that's why no one was watching this channel for the first year. Is that I was so worried that I was like, Craig, don't even post these episodes.
We're just doing them for reps, dude.
Guys, start. Grab an iPhone that we all have and just start shooting and talking.
Make it as sloppy as you want. Just fucking go out and do it.
You know, everyone when they listen to podcasts is like, you know what, this audio could be shittier. I prefer it that way.
Yeah. No, there's never bitching about audio quality. That never happens on podcasts. What you should do is
never
haphazardly rush into it.
Yeah.
just put 0 forethought into it. Just fucking go. Just let it rip. Don't have a format prepared. Just turn the camera on and fucking upload it to YouTube. Whatever horse shit falls out of your mouth.
But I will say, stream can't crash if it never starts.
That's right. I didn't even think of that when I swear to God, I didn't think of that when I said that. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell Coleman that today. He's like, hey, have you thought about not even starting the episode? I learned from my buddy today.
Just start shooting and talking. That's the first thing I got. So start.
That's very important. How are you gonna follow that up? I mean, rule number 2, like, that really is. I think that covers all the bases there. But I guess there are other rules to having a successful podcast. Believe it or not,
Mike, you're not gonna believe this. We got like 6 more rules, dude.
Oh, goody!
You got to be yourself, which is super hard because it's very hard.
Hey guys! Sorry to interrupt. Joe Rogan here.
Hi, I'm Hackride.
Hey guys, thanks for joining the Theo Vaughn podcast. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you go to blindmike.net to subscribe. I don't know who that is, but I'm successful podcaster Theo Vaughn.
I want people to watch this, so I'm Hackride. Please, Andrea, if you could please talk about me. I'm Hackride.
Be yourself. He's gone from the worst podcast advice to the worst therapy session of all time. Be yourself. Hey, people will like you for you, man. This is good. So right now, I've got the computer and microphones on, and I'm Mike Geary.
Yep.
We're on the fast path to success here. I think we're cruising into millions of views.
You gotta be.
Imagine if this video had more than 40 views, I'd be like, what the fuck? like if this thing gets like 100K at some point, people are like, you know what? I gotta start.
Well, that's the thing, is like, I'd make fun of it if it had 100,000 views, but then at least it accomplished the goal that Coach HP was trying to prove.
If you ever have to, I think everyone has at some point had to look up like a how-to video on YouTube or something. I'm clicking the one with like 1 million views, not 4.
No, I'm going with the one. Well, Craig, that's ridiculous, because you're telling me, say, a woodworker like our friend Scott couldn't have 35 views. I might click on that and watch. The problem here is he's talking about how to have a lot of views on your videos.
It doesn't work all the time, though.
It's like if I said how to be a sharpshooter, how to have just precise vision. Like, why would this guy be telling me that?
You gotta be yourself, which is super hard because it's very hard to have, and I see this happen with a lot of comedians too. They're like, I don't want to see such and such comedian. I don't want to see Richard Pryor, because then I start imitating Richard Pryor and I do a version of him, which is true. We all have a sense of who we like in this business. It's almost impossible not to
I
imitate.
can't imagine who Coach HP's is. I'm just saying, if I had to guess, I couldn't think of anyone that he would be emulating.
Gary V.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Podcast, because you see what they're doing, you see their vibe, you see their angles, but the more you are true to yourself and what you feel you want to share in this, the better I think it'll become.
I like how he's trying to be like authentic and be yourself, and speak from the heart as he's reading cue cards. Look at him.
I'm sorry, what does this say? Be authentic. Oh, authentic.
I can't read my handwriting.
Just try to go off the cuff.
Yeah.
Angles, but the more you are true to yourself and what you feel you want to share in this, the better I think it'll become. And it gives you time to grow.
Or can I throw something out there that I think Coach HP might like? What if instead of being yourself, you just found comedians that you could trick into interviewing and tell them how great they are for an hour? Does that work too?
Clearly I'm successful. Look at my watch.
This guy, every interview he's ever had is the person he's most looked forward to meeting.
David Lucas. There's no one I've ever wanted to talk to more in my life.
Except for Scott, the table maker.
Scott Christ.
It's amazing. It's amazing his booking process, because he's gone in the exact order of how much he looks forward to talking to someone. You know what I mean? He's like, it's always, he's constantly topping himself in terms of anticipating the guest.
Right. Or he's going from first place down the list.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's amazing he's gone sequentially. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
So far, we have this fraud telling you to be yourself and turn your fucking camera on.
So you got to be authentic.
That's very important. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to rule number 3.
Are we ready? Do you think we're ready for rule 3? 1 and 2 have rocked the podcasting industry.
Rule number 3: take diligent notes.
The first two rules have changed everything. Now I'm imagining, with controversial takes like that, rule number 3 will be make sure it's available on all platforms. You are going to want to go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Play.
You're gonna have to really like baseball.
Oops. Number 3, you can't compare yourself to other podcasts. You don't want to imitate other podcasts.
Say yours only has 35 views. Just hypothetically. You can't. It's very. This actually, it probably should have been number 1. If you want to be the most successful podcast, you can't look at things like views as a metric of success.
You can't imitate people. But next, I'm going to talk about the elk meat I just ate.
Sure, a Patreon video of Matt and Shane's secret podcast has more views combined than everything I've done. But that's not a way. You don't compare yourself to other people.
To them, everybody at this event was asking. These people was asking Wallo, when did you guys start and how long it took you guys
It's
to
weird
make
that they
it?
were asking Wallo when you were there.
Yeah,
That's weird.
We were having dinner together.
It's weird that they shoved Coach HP out of the way to ask one of the $1 million worth of game guys.
Special situation. You have 2 extraordinary talents that in literally 6 months, they were at the top of their category, one of the best podcasts in the world. That's not normal. What's normal is...
Don't be like that.
Don't be like that. Grind.
What you want to do is get an incredibly low amount of views, like an amount that if I sent it to everyone in my contacts list, it would be higher.
This is a hard worker. He worked hard for that.
You start and it takes time. I started this. It's going to be now 4 years
He's ripping
ago.
off Dave Culline's advice.
4 years ago.
Things take time.
He worked so hard for 4 years for 36 views.
Yeah, that's tough. And listen, here's the thing: these are all true. I guess if you want to give him that, if we're going to give him something, he said nothing false.
Correct.
But it just feels to me like, if you want to be in the major leagues, you're going to have to start young playing baseball
Your whole life.
and you're going to want to do a tremendous amount of practice in order to get there. You're going to want to play on like travel teams, work your way up, go to camps, take every opportunity you can. That's how you become, and you have to have talent. And that's how you become a successful Major League Baseball player.
You want to dedicate your life to it.
How do you become a successful lawyer? Well, you got to start by going to college and studying really hard and then going to law school. and then maybe you become, you start at the bottom and work your way up of a law firm. Maybe you become partners someday.
JFK's head junk says, I started this at the Econo Lodge. Now I'm at Holiday Inn Express.
That's very funny. That took me a second. I started this. I like that JFK's head trunk is so obsessed with where he is.
He can't
I started this at the Econo Lodge.
That's very funny.
And if you can believe it, and one day I will be in a Marriott. Mark my words.
Of just every week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, interviewing
Sometimes
people.
4 times a week.
Sometimes 5 times a week. That's just not true, by the way. Go look at his channel. He doesn't upload videos every day.
No, he does not.
Talking to people, doing a million things. So this takes time. It takes time to find your rhythm. It takes time to find out what you want to talk about. I still don't exactly fully know what this is. I love.
You know what this is? I think I referenced this bit a couple weeks ago.
Is he talking about his own podcast? Hold on. Is he talking about, he's like, I still don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, well, we got to go back and hear that. But I apologize for stepping on it, but it dawned on me what this is. You know the Jim Jeffries bit that he has about having a baby?
Mhm.
And he says that when you have a baby, they give you a book called Don't Shake the Baby. And he goes, I don't understand. There were multiple pages to this thing. He goes, who's looking at the title and thinking, there must be more to this? Like, it seems pretty self-explanatory. That's what this video is. It's the don't shake the baby version of how to do a podcast. He's just saying, like, fucking turn your camera on and try to be interesting.
Now, having said all that, I'm pretty sure he still says he doesn't know what he's doing.
Okay, yeah, so I apologize. To Craig's point, we got to hear this because he's going to tell us about his pod. He's going to draw from real life examples.
It's time to find out what you want to talk about. I still don't exactly fully know what this is. I love talking to people. That's awesome. But I also love telling you guys how I feel.
Now, it's interesting. I know that rule number 3 was try to be focused. I have none of that. I have not. In the 4 years I've been doing this show, my main idea is trying to get names on whose penises I can suckle on.
He's gonna go. If he keeps this up, he's gonna go by Jose Matarese in a couple weeks.
Folks, I have switched formats. This time it is entirely about positivity.
Think all these things, what's going on, stuff that's happened to me, mistakes I've made. So don't imitate anybody else. And then number 3, don't compare yourself to anybody else. You gotta start and do your thing.
Don't compare yourself to anybody else. His entire podcast is talking about how great Joe Rogan is doing. Or how great Brendan Schaub and David Lucas are doing. Like, that's his entire show is comparing himself to other people.
Do you know?
Boy, do I wish I was as successful as you.
Do you know how sick it would be if I was Joe Rogan's friend? That's his podcast.
Yeah, that's the brand that he's come up with. Is please, for the love of God, introduce me to Joe Rogan or Dave Portnoy.
Please, I need them. But here's rule number 4.
Okay, good. Maybe this is where it starts to get a little more detailed. That's fair. He's covering the basics for, the layman.
See what else we got here in our notes. focus on your community. So they were big on focusing with your community. What's your community? When I started, I was in the baseball world, so it was a lot of baseball stuff. But then I moved more into the parenting section. So I became more.
Hold on, Coach. I have a question. It seems like you're incredibly scatterbrained about your community. If I may, it seems like you're kind of all over the place. Is that sort of the opposite of focusing on your community? Because it seems like you think you're a baseball expert one day, and then you think you're a parenting expert one day, and then you're a positivity expert the next day.
No, he's leader of the Joe Rogan toe suckers.
Go back. So he's saying focus on your community, which is again meaningless. It doesn't mean anything.
You go pick up the litter outside.
But the key word to me there is focus, which there's something to be said for that. Have an idea and follow through. Perhaps have a format. Okay, well, how has Coach P mastered that? Coach
Steve Horn says, number 4, tell all your guests they have a beautiful head of hair.
You have just lustrous hair, thick and lustrous.
So handsome.
Focus on your community. So they were big on focusing with your community. What's your community? When I started, I was in the baseball world, so it was a lot of baseball stuff. But then I moved more into the parenting section, so I became more parenting. And then it became working with athletes outside of baseball, golf.
He's Joe Matarese.
With comedians.
He is Joe Matarese, yeah. Jose Matarese.
Hold on. So I started by specializing in something I actually know, baseball. I played baseball for many years. I coached baseball. Then I went to parenting for some reason. There aren't enough parenting podcasts.
Nope.
But then I got into sports I know nothing about. That's the real key. Try to drift away from any expertise you have,
Yep.
and maybe focus on something you're not interested in. Like, for example, I do a history of comedy podcast because I'm really interested in comedy. But wouldn't it be more interesting if I did like a Civil War podcast?
I'm actually in. Let's do it.
Something I just know nothing about.
We should release one. We should listen to these tips, and we should release a show where we listen to these tips exclusively and very literally.
So the interesting thing about Robert E. Lee, here's the interesting thing. He's influenced by a lot of guys that came before him.
Statutarian season. Let's get into it.
And then working with entrepreneurs. So find your community of people that support you. It could be 10, could be 100. Hopefully it's
it could definitely be 10, Coach HP.
Could be 30.
That's probably a fair number to settle on. No, it could. The video is titled "How to Have a Successful Podcast in 2024." Am I wrong about that?
That's right.
You could settle for 10 people watching?
You know what's the best part about that, by the way? Did you notice the thumbnail?
No.
So it says how to have a successful podcast in 2024 and then a gigantic Barstool Sports logo.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
He doesn't mention them once.
No.
That's crazy.
I thought someone else from Barstool was on and he was going to interview them, like if he had like little sass on to talk about Son of a
Right.
Goat or some shit like that.
How to do a successful podcast. Like, hey, that's actually, can I tell you something though? We can mock that all we want. That's something that should be on this list. Is, hey, fucking just get people to have a thumbnail that stands out to people.
Visual promotion.
Yeah. Title the podcast and have a thumbnail that stands out, grabs the eye, jumps out to people. Might get people that otherwise wouldn't watch your channel to click on it. That's actually advice. The one thing he did,
Yep.
the one actual amount of work he did is not on this list.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
How to successful podcast in 2024. Barstool Sports logo, Spotify, and iHeart. No Apple.
Yeah. That's well, here's the thing. Is Spotify, even if you have 10 viewers, they're like, hey, this guy's pretty positive. Let's get the checkbook out.
It's true. It's true.
1 million. But start small with your community. Engage with your community. Your community is going to give you the true feedback. I love this from YouTube. From Instagram, at least in my content, I don't get a lot of people asking me stuff. They usually DM it, which is more in private.
Hold on. So he's saying, if you don't understand what he means there, he's saying he doesn't get a ton of feedback on Instagram. the hub of feedback is YouTube.
Oh god.
At most, me and Craig didn't comment on this video. So at most 34 people could have commented on this.
Let's see how many comments that he's got here.
How do I?
Or likes even.
He's got 2 comments.
Okay.
One of them is him replying to somebody.
Oh, all right. Well, so 1.
If you had to guess how many, like it is at 37 views now. By the way, I did count.
Okay, good. Good.
Do you know how many likes? If you were to guess,
36.
2.
Okay. What is his Instagram? Is his Instagram a literal tumbleweed? A GIF? What the fuck is his Instagram?
Man, he must have like a significant amount of followers on Instagram, right?
His Instagram is like just negative space. He just doesn't get any feedback there.
Let's see. I'm gonna look him up. See what he's.
I'm worried. Before you do that, I'm worried you're gonna disappear. if you bring this Instagram up,
I'm gonna get sucked into the void. Oh no.
Where'd he go?
Let's see.
Instagram, I do not get much feedback, unlike YouTube, where I have built up to 2 comments if I reply.
Fuck.
He's got a lot of Instagram followers, doesn't he?
201,000.
Yeah, so what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, no, the most of his feedback is for sure going to be on this.
I would hope so.
Oh my god, he has 3 comments on the last fucking video you dropped.
Oh, maybe he's right.
None on the one before that.
Oh.
Did he buy? He might have bought.
I don't know. It has gone up since. I think when I found him, it was like 150 or something.
He could have bought them though.
Maybe. Is there no engagement on any of them? How many views?
Like 1,500.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like 200,000.
No, it doesn't. Not even close.
I wonder if he bought followers. But hey, you know what? I don't think you should do that. I think that's a complete waste of money. But it's something. Put that on the list. Buy followers.
Buy views.
Yeah. That's something other than turn your fucking computer on.
All right, let's see. Let's have him finish rule 4 here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But in YouTube, I guess because YouTube, you could have screen names and nobody knows who you are. It is huge. The people reach out, they ask questions. It's awesome. So you gotta engage with your community.
If one person ask a question on this video.
Wow, dude, I'm killing it today. All right.
What's rule number 5?
Let's see what rule 5 is here.
There's only 2 rules left. You're telling me?
Yeah, but I think the last video is like 3.5 minutes long.
Oh, thank God, because that must be where we get something out of this.
It has to be. He gets real in depth in that rule.
Yeah.
This video, by the way, is only 13 minutes long.
Oh, the whole video?
Yeah, so it's digestible.
Yeah, so it's a wallow interview. We call that.
Yeah, he gives the wallow treatment.
Yeah. How a man's entire life and how to do a podcast are the same length of time in Coach HP's world.
Potential moderator Andrea. Blind Mike will be back tonight with his new show, Gearbox, at 9 p.m.
What? Now this is just lying. I'm not on the show. Andrea with a disastrous first episode. She's clearly a plant.
She might have to be a moderator. We might have to make. We have to make
Blind Mike returning.
Maybe Hackride identified as you because I identified as him. Maybe it was a chain reaction.
Oh, honestly, that's actually funny. It might be that, actually.
It could be.
That's very funny.
All right, let's get to rule 5.
Okay, please. Well, yeah, obviously, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing because I'm promoting podcasts 9 hours from now. So please, Coach, tell me, give me something.
Relatable to you. So, perfect example, the top podcast stuff that they talked about is true crimes. So true crimes. I'm not a big fan of true crime, so I would not start a true crime. I'm a fan of positivity. I will not start a true crime podcast. But what I do think about is
Why? You got a problem with
maybe
that?
Start with Miami, like historic crimes that have happened in Miami, and talk
What?
about them, review them, and stuff like that.
Hold on. What is he saying?
He goes, I wouldn't start a true crime podcast, but I live in Miami, so I would start a true crime podcast about Miami.
Okay, I thought I misheard. I thought I must be the idiot here. So he's saying he was on the precipice of good advice.
Mhm.
If he was saying, hey, true crime podcasts are popular, but don't just do one to do one. It has to actually be something you're interested in.
Mhm.
Which that's very good advice. Because a lot of people probably do think like, oh, I'll just get into the true crime section because that's very hot right now or whatever.
Yeah.
Coach HP is saying, don't do that. That's very silly. Unless like you live in Miami or something, then you can do a Miami true crime podcast.
You know, true crime podcasts are great. Everyone should start one.
Yeah. People that don't know that don't care, have any passion about true crime or any knowledge. As long as you live in Miami, I guess.
Give it a sexual name too. That's the other advice I would give.
Oh yes, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Oh, no one did.
An idea, but relatable was a big thing. Other things that people talked about was content themes. So themes of content, right? Your three things. You're either educational, like with me was the video of how to break in a baseball glove. That is his free bird.
I want to see how many views that video's got. It's probably got like 1 million.
Yeah, look that up actually. It
It's gonna have like 4 grand.
He mentions it all. We heard him mention it to Scott.
Freaking...
He mentions this how to break in a baseball mitt video all the time. By the way, I think Craig's going to like one of the other suggestions he has that we'll get to. But first, I want to see how many views this baseball mitt video has.
If you had to guess. If you had to take a guess. There's 2. He did 2 of them.
Well, let's go with the highest one.
Okay.
The highest view count.
Yep.
Based on your reaction, it's definitely lower than 1 million. 50,000.
277,000.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, but he talks.
If we had a video do that, that'd be pretty crazy.
That would be pretty crazy. But he talks about it like it's, you guys, I know.
Oh, sure. Like it's Mr. Beast counting to 1 million or something. But
correct.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's crazy. But thank God, when you asked me that, I was like, oh God, is it like 5,000?
No.
So
thank God. All right.
Educational is how to hit a baseball, how to talk to a 14-year-old.
Now, Craig. Hey, we can mock this guy, but I think there's something to be learned there.
Why would you do a video called "How to Talk to a 14"?
I think that you know better than anyone why. You know, you don't just reach in and grab. You got to romance him a little. You know.
Is that a real video?
Yes, I've seen it. I was hoping for more, but it's like from a coaching standpoint.
Oh, that is a tough title.
So I get what he's saying, but yeah, how to talk to a 14-year-old you would think would be like a Gillian Keefe sketch or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious.
You're either educational, like with me was the video of how to break in a baseball glove. That was huge for me. Educational is how to hit a baseball, how to talk to a 14-year-old.
Craig says, hey, buddy, stay in your lane.
Aspirational which is where a lot of the scams come in, where people showcase their lives and people want to be you. They see somebody, they go, I like that guy. I like his house. I like his car. I like his chick. I like what he has going on. Aspirational is another.
Hold on a second.
Stuttering Coach HP. I like his chick.
Wait, what did he just say?
A whole lot.
What was the? So is he saying that's good, that you should do a podcast? I can't imagine why he would be saying this. Is he suggesting you should do a podcast where you just go, hey, look at this guy. I like his hair. I like his face. I like his bank account. I like his house. And I like the lady he stuffs.
It sounds like
that's a podcast.
It sounds like it.
Is he saying that would be bad or good? Because it is the podcast that he does, so at least he's aware. But
Stuttering Coach HP, man.
yeah,
his house, I like his car, I like his chick.
sorry, go back a little further because I want to hear what the fuck, how he got into this.
Operational which is where a lot of the scams come in, where people showcase their lives.
Oh, he's calling it a scam. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Go back even further.
Mhm.
Oh, so he might be talking about like our guy John Cirasani. Carl doesn't know this, but it's someone we talk about on WATS from time to time.
Content, right? Your three things.
Hackride's
You're
here, by
either
the way.
educational, like with me, was the video of how to break in a baseball glove. That was huge for me. Educational is how to hit a baseball, how to talk to a 14-year-old, educational stuff like that.
Educational stuff like
that.
That's how Carl's always spun it to me.
Educational stuff we don't like talking
It's
about.
educational purposes. I go out and Craig always says to me, he's like, hey, we should be doing more stuff on TikTok. And I say, it's not really my lane. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to go out to talk to 14-year-olds and see what they think. I'm like, that's not really necessary. He's like, you don't even have to ask me.
You don't even know how.
Yeah.
It's offensive.
Taste their lives, and people want to be you. They see somebody, they go, I like that guy. I like his house. I like his car. I like his chick. I like what he has going on. Aspirational is another avenue. And third is entertaining. Entertaining is...
I don't get it. He calls it a scam. So it's like if I said, hey, start a business. This video is called How to Start a Business.
Yeah.
And one thing you could do is just like email a bunch of people and say that you're a Nigerian prince and that if they send you a certain amount of money, that you're going to send them back more money. Like that, for example, is the type of business that you could start.
Right.
It feels like that's what he's saying because he's calling it a scam, but then saying, do it.
Ooh. Andrea, real quick, I know, potential moderator, said hit that like with the thumb emoji. So we're moving in the right direction.
All right. That I like, Andrea. Now we're cooking.
Yeah, we're cooking.
And no, she probably means like later tonight on Hackride show.
Yeah, on Hackride's channel, when you're watching the recap of this and you already checked out,
Hey, yeah.
like on that.
Hey, you guys probably aren't even paying attention to the show anymore, but if you are, later tonight, hit the like button.
Sing, you can dance, you can do so many things. So out of those three things, you got to find out which are you. Are you educational?
Yeah. You know how successful those dancing podcasts are.
There's no niche audience.
I love listening to this podcast with these ballet dancers.
You know, if you want big time success, find the super niche audience.
You're kind of doing Stuttering John as this guy.
I know.
Just so you know.
I know. It kind of is.
Entertaining. And you could intertwine them, obviously. And obviously, if you could do all three, it'd be great. But those features are important.
Thanks.
Very important. Well, now it's all been culminating to this, right?
Yeah.
This is the last rule.
Oh, God. Sorry, dude. Troy Smith, $2. He's clearly not paying attention. He just says, what time is Gearbox on tonight?
Troy, we'll tell you at the end. We have a guy. Troy, don't worry. A guy is muscling his way onto the program to talk about it later.
Him and Electra backstage.
You think we wouldn't do a whole segment about when Gearbox is on? What are you, nuts?
Oh, we're gonna dish.
We'll get into it. But first, we have to finish up this boring stuff with Coach HP.
Yeah.
All right. So we've been building to the last rule, right?
This is the last rule.
This is where he admits he's like, guys, I was trying to get the riffraff out of here. The people that wouldn't stick around, that weren't dedicated. What?
Andrea, in all seriousness, added Troy and said 9 p.m.
God damn it. Well, she's earned herself a position, I think.
This is such a Hackride plan to say
9 p.m. Yeah, no, I could tell. It's good because I could tell by the way Troy sent that chat in. He definitely didn't know when the show was.
Yeah. We might need Andrea every week.
Yeah, all right. Andrea's doing a good job. She's winning me over.
I'm in.
9 p.m. Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Yes, Eastern Standard Time, Nimrod. Yes.
All right. Now, finally, Coach HP is going to unload all over our faces how to have a successful podcast.
Partnerships. They talked a lot about partnerships, partnering up with each other. Now, this is a little tricky. So everybody that was there today.
Can I give you a little spoiler?
Mm-hmm.
By this is a little tricky, he means it's something I have failed at time and again. It's this. Now, this one I'm going to give you advice on. It is something that I have continuously, like Charlie Brown, whiffed on. They keep setting me up at different podcast studios. I keep missing. Sorry, go ahead.
Podcast network or something like that. Everybody was asking him, how do I get on your podcast? How can I get on your network? How can I get on your
Beating his
network?
door
How can
down.
I be a part of your network? If you don't have views, nothing's going to happen.
Okay, we have 2 from today we have to put in the outro. That's a good one. If you don't have views, nothing is going to happen. Now, keep in mind, rule number 4 or whatever it was it doesn't matter how many people are watching. You could have 10 viewers.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Start small.
That was a couple views ago. Now, rule number 6 is if you don't have views, none of it matters.
Jump off nearest building.
Your life is irrelevant. He just starts getting real. You are a failed baseball player that thought he could podcast.
You're just going to be in your living room jerking off to your neighbor's wife.
If you don't have views, you are someone that tried to leech on to Brendan Schaub for no reason at the start of his downfall.
With companies, they look at your analytics. Can they help you grow? Can you make them money? That's it. There's no nice guys here. It's not like, oh, we like you. No. This literally, you have to have a niche that they want.
So hold on. I think I'm getting this actually.
Mm-hmm.
In order to have a successful podcast, and this is specific to the year 2024.
Yep.
I don't think it's been like this in previous years, now that I'm thinking about it. To have a successful podcast in 2024, it's a podcast that should generate income in some way.
Right.
Boy, that's really interesting, Coach. I'm glad you took 5 other rules to get here. So we start by starting the podcast.
Right.
And we end, the final rule is have it be successful. Hey, thanks, guys. That's been how to have a successful podcast.
Thank you.
Start it and make it good.
2, they have to like what you do. That you have to see you have some kind of movement, and then you could be considered for this. I've had people.
For example, 4 years in, you should not be getting 35 views on a video. Particularly when you're explaining how to be successful in that field.
He's the Schaub of YouTube video views. Starts off with a great baseball glove, and now he's here.
250,000. How to break in a baseball mitt.
And
4 years later.
His last video, he said he's going to retire from Instagram.
I am no longer a part of the travel I had to do for Instagram was just too exhausting.
We'll get you and we'll do a 70-30 split, 60-40 split, but you want to feel comfortable, and till then, it's almost like better be on your own, because you don't want people then to have a pressure of, okay, well, how many views you like? I had a company tell me till you get consistently 20,000 views an episode, that's what we're looking for.
That's weird. So you're telling me it seems like these companies, these corporate fat cats, are just looking for successful podcasts to pay.
Yeah, it's like they want to sell ad revenue and stuff.
That's what they should. That's very odd. I thought if I just started a podcast that was unsuccessful, I would be making Bill Simmons money at least.
I don't know why we aren't.
That's very disappointing. I thought if I just fucking did this every week, eventually someone would pay me millions of dollars. By the way, does him having the Barstool logo in this video kind of implicate them in this?
That he's trying to get views or implicate Barstool?
No, like he says, I reach out to all these platforms and they tell me, like, you need 20,000 views. One of the places he lists is Barstool Sports. Does he think he should be on Barstool?
I think so. I think he went in there, saw the vibes, and was like, I could really fit in here.
Oh, would that be great?
Oh, I need it. I need it.
You know what this guy, what he would be great at is like just when the unnamed show gets too hot, he just comes in and spreads positivity.
He comes in to calm everyone down.
Yeah. He just compliments everyone.
No, he doesn't look like deformed Mincy. That's
a very
Coleman.
handsome young boy.
He just looks like Coleman.
Was by the. Hold on.
Oh.
a sec.
Oh, good. You compared him to Stuttering John earlier. You're about to eat your words, pal.
He didn't even edit it out.
Keep in mind, this is called How to Have a Successful Podcast.
This better be a really famous person coming in. Oh, it's my friend Wallow again.
Oh, folks, look at this. Alex Cooper is stopping by.
Consistently 20,000 views an episode. That's what we're looking for. And my answer was by the.
Oh,
Hold on.
I hope that's not Dan Carlin from Hardcore History coming in to say hello.
He walks funny.
Hey,
Hello, my friend.
how's everything?
Fantastic. Thank you. It's time.
There it is. man.
Champions again.
Yes, sir.
Like on Monday.
Yep.
What the
What do you
fuck?
think?
I think we have a big shop, man. This will be good.
I think. I'm a student of Coach HP, as you know.
Yeah.
As long as this ball.
I think they're talking Dolphins football.
There you go, my friend. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Okay.
Was this room service? And the guy just starts talking Dolphins?
I forgot he was in a
We
hotel.
had to get the food. So I've had podcasts.
Yeah, it was. Hold on, pause. It was room service.
You know, I'm going to call this in and I'm going to record.
Why would you, if you're doing how to do a podcast of all videos, why would you order food and then start recording?
That's what I mean. Or leave it in.
Yeah, right. You just cut it out, Coach. This is very weird.
The splits, and they're like, listen, if you don't get 20,000, we're not gonna.
Didn't
It's
skip
not
a
even
beat.
worth it. And I'm like, look, by the time I get 20,000 views an episode, I'm not coming to you guys.
I will be long dead.
I'm going to go.
By the time I get 20,000 downloads an episode, this won't be a podcast anymore. It will be a study in psychology when I go on a mass shooting spree.
So I'm gonna go somewhere else. So wait, just wait, get your rhythm. It's always better to have a gig where you're getting paid already and you don't put pressure
No shit, you
on
fucking
this.
idiot.
I didn't live off my Rawlings deal, my New Balance deal, or anything else that I've gotten because I had income.
End of list.
No, I was getting all these big deals from Rawlings and all that stuff. And I said, I'm going to pivot.
Yeah, it's time to do a podcast that gets 35 views because I know how to do a successful podcast.
Russell was never really pressure.
The arrogance of anyone, like that isn't known for podcasting to do this. You know what I mean? Like people with clearly successful podcasts could technically make a video, and even then it still might be douchey. But like they obviously know what they're doing, so they can give tips. And I've even heard Rogan over the years give advice, just naturally on his show. Makes sense. The idea of Coach HP, like this, you could say this channel's not a success, and that's why I don't tell you how to do it. Do whatever you want. Do whatever the fuck you want. What do I care?
We actually spent a good chunk of this section saying, you know what, don't even hit record.
Yeah.
From my personal experience, going to podcasts, doing them live has been amazing. Also, what's been good is personal relationship. People aren't talking about personal relationships. You gotta have good personal relationship, guys, because that's what's gonna help you get in the door, especially if you don't know anybody. And the best way to make personal relationships is to give. Find what you can give, whether it's your time, your service. Some people give money. Some people barter for equal exchange, but you got to give.
Okay, so I think he's saying, like, hey, if you want more advice, maybe throw me a little quiche,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ah, interesting. So what is he doing, like, when he meets Brendan Schaub and these people? I wonder what he's getting out of that. I know what he thinks he's getting.
views.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't happening. Oh man,
Was that the end?
that was the end.
Oh man. That's oh yeah, that's the thing, is it just ends abruptly. That's the crazy part.
Well, the food came, so we had to get out of
Yeah.
there.
I have to get to my hot plate.
I had 17, 18 more rules, but I got the
Yeah, so we started with start the podcast. In the middle, he was like, do a podcast, and then the final rule, have it be successful.
yeah.
So I think we learned a lot.
Make sure if you start a podcast, you're already getting paid.
You know where you can implement these rules, Craig?
Mhm.
I've heard there's a podcast starting tonight at 9:00. Have you heard about this?
You got a couple guests here that are on the show.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Hello. How's
The whack cat
everyone?
rolls in.
What a
But-
Hello.
great show.
Hello, Gearbox alum.
Yes.
Hey, Gregor, say Blind Mike.
Hi.
Hello, Electra.
Yes, yes.
Hackride.
Yes, well, welcome to the Evening Jerk. Yes, here we jerk off to the Blind Mike show. And the first 20 minutes, we will ask the question, where did Mike set down his razor? And will he ever find it again? Oh, look at that beard. Oh, what is going on there?
That's right. I'm shaving this week. Don't worry.
No,
Oh, do you
we've
have
seen
more?
the
I'm
butt
sorry. I don't
chin.
wanna
We know
step
what
on
you're hiding. Yes, how are you doing, Craigers? Way to shit all over a new moderator. Gosh, she's doing a great job in there, and you take every opportunity to shit on her. Good job, Andrea.
Her doing a great job is relative to whatever show you're on.
We're on a show promoting your show. Have you heard of this little guy named Stuttering John? No one watched his show until Uncle Rico came along. And who are these podcasts? What are you talking about? We're making you stars, baby.
Okay, we're gonna be the new Stuttering John.
Yes, quit
Yeah, what is
sabotaging
that
our
analogy?
friends, Craigers. Yes, yes.
You know what? I'm realizing
Craig-
now Hackride is loud as fuck.
Yeah,
Just shut up.
He's particularly loud right now. I noticed that too.
Okay. Are you in the Spurg Discord too, Craigers? Are you spurging out on me?
Who?
You're louder than usual. It usually doesn't bother me.
Sparktopia.
I am not louder. I turned down.
Now
All
you're
right.
fine.
Hey guys, comment. What do you think? Is he too loud?
No, do not comment on my loudness or quietness. Your ears are all fucked up from all the years of you listening to MP3s. I am an analog man. I still do things analog. What you are hearing is real.
Let
Now-
us know what you think of Hackride in the comments below.
Yeah, please.
No.
Hackride. Now, usually you and I will tussle, but once we put down our weapons and speak reasonably, do you understand at all what we were saying about the promotion of this show tonight?
Well, yes. So we didn't really have a meeting beforehand on how we should do
I'm
things,
just-
but
in
I
general-
thought she did a good job. I saw a lot of promotion there that really mattered to me.
Things could be done more tastefully in the future, I suppose.
Where? What show are you on? Do you remember 1 year ago, almost to the day, you guys yelled at me for putting Hackride at the end of your clips? We're doing it. Nothing's changed.
I actually forgot about that.
Well, I'm
I thought
reminded.
it was hilarious how big it said your name. In the corner, it said blindmike.net.
Yeah. And to
Everyone's
Hackride's-
like, great show, Hackride. I'm like, thank you.
to Hackride's credit, when you call him out for that stuff, he understands and he corrects usually. So perhaps next week
Yes,
it'll
I
only
get
be
caught and I move on. Yes.
yes. Next week maybe it'll only be 11,000 tweets about Gearbox.
Yes, this is what you do. This is how you produce a show. Well, welcome to it. Have you seen your numbers, by the way? You're welcome.
Thank you.
But hey, no problem. Hey, by the way, a few things. Army Major, we're gonna have to put a pin in that until 2025. I don't know if you've watched him lately, but he's on fire right now. Any mention of the other side, he's not gonna be our friend anymore. So we're not touching him till 2025.
Okay.
Then he'll be fun to have on when Trump's president. Oh my God, that will be.
Actually,
So
you
what-
say that,
what-
and we're both just like, yes, that makes sense.
What can we expect from you two and your big guest, Carl, tonight?
Oh, tonight. Oh, we got some great topics. We got Stut Joe. We got Coach HP. That's sort of all you did. I mean, you really left it. You didn't leave it on the field for us tonight. I mean, come on. You gave us nothing.
Hackride, explain this comment from this mod.
I did not put her up to that. I
What was that?
swear.
What is it?
Go ahead, read it, DJ Electra.
It says DJ Electrify on Tuesdays.
It's a
this is
fact.
crazy.
It's a fact. She's just stating facts now.
I did not.
It's
put
not
her up to
promotion.
that.
It's
I
just a
promise
fact of
you.
life. She is on Tuesdays and she does
That's
eat and
nuts.
greet. Andrea, you're a goddamn superstar. I love you, Andrea. All right, we also got some questions for Carl. We got a game, and we got a blast from the past. Oh, and if you don't think I'm not reaching out to everyone you know, Blind Mike, looking for info for the show, oh, you are so wrong.
Now, does it worry you at all that Carl is going to be on this like review show, and he's not familiar with my work?
No, I'm going to show him how it's done.
Okay, good. Yeah, introduce him to me, because I don't think he's too familiar.
See, you got 30,000 followers because you got a nice wood paneling and a pool table. Now learn how it's done.
Sure.
We'll walk him through it.
Yes, and also, I was amazed that Craig you guys didn't cover the David Lucas hubbub this week. Oh my God, Craig, how hard did you get when you saw that joke from David Lucas?
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
Oh, why don't you pay
the George Floyd one?
Yes, I could just imagine Craig at home with a giant erection in his hand. Finally, a black man said what I've been saying.
It was black on black crime, so I mean, we won't have to.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. How big was the stain you left? Also,
DJ Electra, you want to read this comment?
It's like a robot.
This also says from Andrea, the demon, Hackride.
That's right. Information. She is just giving information to people here for the first time. Yes. I'm a demon and Electra's on Tuesdays.
Everyone, hold on. That was just apropos of nothing. She just wrote in the comments, the demon, Hackride.
Well, people are like, who's Hackride? He's the demon. He's the one on the screen that's a demon. She is doing a great job.
They watch the show. I know you people don't believe that, but if they're here, clearly they're watching it.
Hey, Andrea, what's the website for the show? Do you know the website where you can find all our stuff?
She's put it in there 10 times. You conveniently ignore those ones, Craig, for your story. You create your myth.
Were you like, we really need to make up for what you've done so far? Can you please type this?
Much like the healthy food on the menu, Craig has been skipping those. Yes.
No, that was not a no.
Now, one last question for you, Hackride.
No, there's more. I have so much more.
Oh, good. Well, you made a wise crack earlier that we spend most of our time talking about Stuttering John and Coach HP. I know you guys aren't familiar with the show. Often we'll spend the majority of the time on like 1, 2, maybe 3 topics. Do you worry about that for the format of a recap show?
Oh my God, no.
Okay.
You're both such content kings. You don't even understand what the show is going to be. You think it's going to be just a breakdown of your show. Well, just think that. Oh, please just go into it thinking that.
Here's my guess. This show is about to hit the 3-hour mark. I have a feeling Gearbox is going to be longer.
Oh, no, actually incorrect, Greg. No, it's going to be under an hour, actually, or about an hour, because we don't want people to go, oh, I saw that. I don't need to see the show. We're actually a giant commercial for the show. That's what it is. And a commercial for you, Blind Mike, because people need to study you. Like they studied Stuttering John, but stutters, if you finally get someone nice that you like. So we're going to ask the question, can you do an Uncle Rico on someone you like? Because we like you a lot. But it's a good format.
I don't care for this setup.
No, if you got any secrets on Blind Mike, the Hackride at Gmail is open, baby. We'll turn it into a game. Yes.
DJ Electra, you want to read this?
Sure. If I could read that name, Ozymandias, Mike, you demand. Love the show. $2 super chat.
You see that, Andrea?
Oh, no. See, Andrea's work made that happen. See, Craig, that's how that works.
Hackride, true or false? Is she bitching about not being on the show right now in the chat? True or false?
Who?
Andrea.
Andrea, she doesn't want to be on the show.
One day you will have me on.
Have you heard of Mr. Hal Sparks, the indomitable entertainer Hal Sparks? She is a mod for this man. We are a JV team.
Now?
No. Well, if you want, yes. But only if you promote Gearbox tonight at 9 p.m. Yes.
Go watch Gearbox.
Also, look at you, Blind Mike, covering Ray DeVito. Oh, we've come so far in a year. You remember when you're like, who is this? Why are we covering this guy a year later? Oh, he's part of your life. You're welcome.
I don't think I know who Ray DeVito was.
This is a lie. Everyone go back to Diabolical and watch, like, who is this guy?
You just saw Ray DeVito's name and went to a blind rage. That was the difference between a year ago.
Yeah, you wanted me to attack him for a Kobe Bryant joke that I didn't care about.
And I was right. Have you not seen his behavior since? He's clearly a murderer. He abducts women off of I-81 and murders them. This is a fact. Everyone knows this.
I don't know.
It's all over Discord.
I don't know.
Disavow.
Yes.
I don't know anything about that. All right.
And by the way, this baseball to podcast pipeline is fucking incredible. Coach HP, Joseph Catalano, just a murderer's row of podcast genius. Hey, that was a baseball joke. I don't like it, but it was a good joke.
You've exhausted me. Is there anything else?
Yes, one more. I'll just do one more. I heard you mention a Civil War podcast. Oh my God, Craig Eyes lit up. I know which side Craigers is on. Hey, the South are rising in. Oh, Craiger. All right, I'll leave you on that one. He's a molester.
You want to leave on that one?
I kick Hackride. DJ Electra can stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't
DJ
you know
Electra's-
I'm a moderator on this goddamn? I can bring myself back, moron.
I've enjoyed DJ Electra very much lately. Ever since I was scolded for not promoting Hackride enough. Hey, have we curbed that issue, Electra?
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, good.
No, we need a little more.
She said, "Yes, you're welcome." Not thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, real quick.
Mhm.
Can you tell me about the David Collins experience without giving me
Oh,
It was a frightening.
Why? What happened?
It's just the demon.
What did you do to him?
well, listen, we're trying. It's everyone's job to get him to break. That is the job, right? Like that is what we are ordained now to do. And I think we did it. It was after the show, so you're not going to see it on camera. But he sort of lost it.
Hold on,
And so it was-
Hackride, stop. DJ Electra, please read this from Mod Andrea. Go ahead.
9 p.m.
Okay.
Blind Mike is back tonight with Gearbox.
That's right, he is. Yes, he's going to be on TV
I'm
tonight
not.
at night. It's a fact. You will be on the air. You are going. Your face will be on the air. 100% fact. That is a fact.
Person or is this
Blind
an
Mike is
AI
back.
mod?
I think Craig is also reaching back. What was the timestamp on that one, Craig? We've already corrected her. Now just stop it.
101. She just did it again.
Oh, good job,
Right there.
Andrea.
Good
I feel
job.
you're growing in your role.
It's not a good job.
Is she your kid? And no matter what she does, it's fine.
Hey, Craig, hey, Andrea, how do you feel about producing a show? So we can just run this ginger right on out of there.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, I gotta say, I might.
He's
have
got
some
a kindergarten to
authority
get to anyway.
on that. I'm in lockstep with Craig here for once.
I like how you're writing yourself into the show before you cover this.
All right. Well, go check out. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Gearbox is on tonight at 9.
Listen, don't shake your babies. Stop that.
Just cracked. That French fry carton just cracked at that.
And what else? Oh, and look out for them on David Collins' show. Now, may I promote my show? If you guys would.
I don't know. Hold on. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Guys, go to blindmike.net and you can subscribe on all platforms for free. If you're watching right now on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. All that helps the algorithm. And if you want to support the show even more, become a member on Patreon or YouTube.
Excuse me, he's blind.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not gay. He's blind. Stop it, people.
He's gay. He's gay. Excuse me, he's blind.
All right, we may be having a malfunction with my sound effects.
We're finally starting to promote this channel. And he's like, you know,
This was God. This was God's doing, not mine. I can't stop it.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
And we have a meme transition.
Sappers clear the way. Everyone all the way.